laptop is down there.
Get up, you son of a bitch! Cause Punsh drunk loves you.
Yeah, you already know this is Punsh Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself, aka El Adobo, El Sazón, El Borracho, El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this side of heaven. God bless you all. Right here, we're with the most prestige trainer in the world of boxing, Coach Anthony. Let's go. Let's go. A lot of drama in the sport of boxing, Coach.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. What about you, man?
I'm chilling, man. You know, just here in the gym. They working out in the back.
You got champions. You got champions. You got champions in the gym.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got a lot of upcoming guys, and you know, it's dope. It's a vibe.
All right. Okay. All right. A lot of drama in the boxing. We got Terrence Book. Hey, yo, first and foremost, I gotta eat my crow. With Coach Anthony was the first. Before there wasn't even a talk of Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, before there wasn't even finalized a contract on the table, nothing on the table, we used to debate this. And you said you was the first one that I ever heard say Bud Crawford will beat Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
You was the first one to say Bud Crawford will beat Canelo Alvarez. I'm going to give you that. Because when there was no talks about it, I mean, like little whispers here and there because of the greatness of Terrence Bud Crawford. But you was the first one that was like, yo, on some no troll shit, on some real boxing technical ish. You said that Bud Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez. I'm like, what? Are you what? Coach, you? Come on now. Hey, yo, I'm the one that's supposed to be drinking the moonshine, not you.
That was a styles make fight type deal. I just seen it. You know what I mean?
Nah. I gotta give you. You in bet with me, right? The only person that actually bet was actually Shakur Stevenson when I had an interview with him. He's like, yo, let's bet some push-ups. So I do owe Shakur Stevenson some. What was it? 1,000 push-ups. I owe Shakur 1,000 push-ups.
You might owe him some more. Man.
Oh, we're going to be talking about that. Oh, we're going to be talking about that. Y'all already know 2026, one of the most anticipating fight in the sport of boxing, in which I believe is when all the smoke's clear. I always said that Teo versus Shakur was going to be the fight. The utmost respect, the amateur background, they came up together. They've been 11, 12 years old, 13, whatever. It's been Shakur, it's been Teo, it's been Gary Antoine Russell. Shout out to Clarissa Shields. That was their class. Shakur Stevenson, Silver Olympian, Teofimo Lopez won the USA Olympic trials. The only fighter in the history of the sport of boxing, the only fighter in the history of the amateurs to win the USA Olympic trial and not to represent USA. So I understand why Teofimo Lopez always had a chip on his shoulder. But who you got in this fight, though? Huh?
I mean, listen. I think Teofimo Lopez is a great athlete. I think he's a very good fighter. I think he got good power in both hands. I think he could box. I think he could do a lot of great things in the ring. However, we're talking about Shakur Stevenson.
I
mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't see this as competitive as people think it's going to be that are Teofimo fans, and the reason is this is going to go back to the Terrence Crawford Canelo type deal. This is a stylistic matchup that I don't think favors Teofimo Lopez in any way. Truthfully, I really don't. I mean, Teofimo's got a puncher's chance.
Oh, what?
He's got a puncher's chance. He could
Say it again. Say it again.
Hey, yo, this is no disrespect to Teofimo Lopez. I personally like the guy. I think he could fight. However, this fight, I don't like for him. Now, I like it for the intrigue. I like it for the fans. I like it for Shakur Stevenson.
What?
I think that this is a fight that's going to definitely get some anticipation. But when we get in that ring that night, when they get in the ring, I should say, I don't think it's going to be as competitive as people think it's going to be. I think Stevenson is going to clearly outbox him, not get hit that much. I mean, I can't see what Teofimo could do, bro. I just can't.
Coach, my brother, New York City, Latino Boricua, coach. Hey, yo, let me tell you like this, folks. The people that's looking on, shout out to everybody that's looking on. Smash that like button. Y'all already know, man. Send that link, share the live. Let's go. This is a genius when it comes to training. I always say, yo, fighters, seek for this man, bro. Stop going after the Freddie Roaches of the world, what's hot, and you know what I'm saying? Like Coach Anthony, I'm telling y'all, folks, look, I disagree with you, but I got the utmost respect for you. You know that, right? You were the first one years ago that said that Bud would beat Canelo. Before that, I'm gonna say it again for the people that's tuning in. Coach Anthony was the first one before there wasn't even a talk of Bud versus Canelo to say that Bud would beat Canelo. Before anybody, before the turkey out shit came into play, right? You a trainer. You're a prestige trainer. You made world champions. You help world champions. You help amateur fighters in the USA. All that.
Come on, I'm waiting for it. Come on.
But how, with your knowledge that you seen Teofimo Lopez go against Richard Comey, a respectable champion, knock him out of the second round? Vasily Lomachenko was regarded pound for pound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can flip it around. That beat Josh Taylor, the undisputed, the reigning 140-pound champion, and both southpaws. Lomachenko southpaw, Josh Taylor southpaw. Whatever style, whatever size you wanted. Teofimo Lopez, compared to Shakur Stevenson, have shown the world in the professional level that at the highest level of all highs have shown y'all that now I'm not just going to knock out Vasily Lomachenko. I'm going to outclass him. I'm going to outbox Josh Taylor, Vasily Lomachenko. He is proven. He's the it factor. There's no hype around Teofimo Lopez. He ain't won no vacant titles. How can you say that this ain't even gonna be close? Like who is Shakur Stevenson best win for you, Coach? Come on now, Coach.
His best win is his last fight. I really enjoyed that fight. Well, who did he just fight?
Cepeda?
I thought Cepeda was his best win.
Cepeda, Coach.
However, but yeah, because of the manner that he fought Cepeda. He went in the pocket and he did what everybody said he wouldn't do, and he proved that he could fight in the pocket. Now, this is the thing about Shakur versus Teo. Don't get me wrong, Teo could fight. Lomachenko was a great champion, we know that, and we also know that Richard Comey, great fighter as well, great champion as well. But these guys don't fight like Shakur Stevenson. It's like this is where we go back to styles make fights, right? So we have to remember that boxing is not a triangle sport. Just because one guy beat that guy, this guy beat that, doesn't mean that this guy can beat that particular guy. Shakur Stevenson is a very defensive-minded fighter. He's a very calculated fighter, Olympic silver medalist for a reason. He's seen a bunch of different styles. The guy, he's tall enough. He's not a short guy like a Lomachenko. He's tall enough. Is him and Teo the same height, or is Shakur like?
I think Shakur is like 1 inch taller than him.
Okay.
I think he's tall.
Yeah, and this is the same thing that I was talking about when Crawford fought Canelo. Like everybody was talking about how Canelo fought at 168 for so many years, including yourself. And this was, but I said, yeah, but Crawford is around the same height. It's not like he's fighting a Benavidez, right? So we're talking about a guy and the reason why I say height's a factor is because we know that Shakur is going to utilize his jab. We know that. We know that as a southpaw, he's going to have an advantage with that jab situation because of how he likes to use it. Now, don't get me wrong. Teofimo got some slick stuff. Like you said before, I remember one time you said to me, I would compliment Teofimo as a coach because of how he fights. He does a lot of upper body movement. He bends the waist really nice. He got some slick moves. He could show, I'm getting out of frame. He could shoulder roll. He could do damn near every single thing that you would want a fighter to do. However, I think his punch volume, I think his punch volume is going to be a big factor. I don't think he's going to throw enough punches. I think he's going to try to throw too many hard punches. And if he thinks he's going to land those big hard shots on Shakur Stevenson, I mean, Shakur trains for this. He knows that this is what Teofimo is going to do. And if we're going to go skill for skill, Shakur has a far deeper skill set than Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo does some really good things, but when we're talking about a complete skill set, Shakur's does the intangibles to me better than Teofimo Lopez.
All right, as a coach, see, I'm a boxing content creator. I'm talking to a prestige trainer. You know what I'm saying? So even if this is a debate, you know what I'm saying? I'm still humbly, you know what I'm saying, still really going to value massively your opinion, right? But, you know what I'm saying, I got to push back. Because as much as I like to educate, I love to be educated as well. You as a trainer know that even though that if somebody got a heavy artillery, right? Got a heavy bag, you don't necessarily go and have to use all your artillery or your tools in that particular fight, right? So when you say Shakur Stevenson got probably a heavier bag, but at the highest level, who proven to the world that his skill set at the highest level, he passed the test. Because if Cepeda, look at this, and I did a poll the other day. I said, which is the best win of Shakur Stevenson's career? And they say William Cepeda. Let's be real, bro. You coached Tevin Farmer. You was training Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer gave Cepeda a run for his money. And this is Tevin Farmer, who a lot of people feel like is 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Well, I didn't coach Tevin Farmer for Cepeda, but yes.
No. I'm not saying that you coach, but I'm saying that you know Tevin Farmer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, you know, he gave Cepeda a run for his money. Let's not forget Cepeda.
Again, we got to go back to styles make fights. We got to go back to styles make fights. I mean, this is the biggest factor that we have to remember. Styles make fights. It has nothing to do with Teofimo not being a high-quality fighter. I agree with you 100%. He's a very high-quality fighter. However, against Shakur Stevenson, I just don't think that he has enough. Now, don't get me wrong. I see Shakur Stevenson pulling straight back after he throws a straight left hand. He goes 1-2, and he likes to pull straight back like this quite a bit. He does it quite a bit. If Teofimo Lopez can drop down and shoot an overhand right as he's pulling back and time him, yes, he can hurt Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson likes to use his jab quite a bit. If Teofimo Lopez can come around the side with a left hook as Shakur slide into his right and walk into Teofimo's left hook, yes, he could possibly get hurt. But we're talking about two tools where we know that Shakur is going to be utilizing a consistent jab, controlling range. He can get in the inside and he can smother Teofimo when Teofimo tries to get aggressive to the body. He already proved that with Cepeda. He's extremely patient. He'll frustrate you. And we're talking about the highest level of boxing. We can't forget that he was an Olympic silver medalist. He could have been the gold medalist. So we have to remember that as well when we're talking about a guy who's never fought at the highest level of professional boxing. He hasn't gotten an opportunity yet. This is his opportunity.
Okay, and true, but Teofimo Lopez got his opportunity not once, but twice. So it's not a fluke at 135, and it's not a fluke at 140. And let's not forget, you that know the amateur circuit more than most coaches, especially on these platforms, right? And I ask every time I do interview fighters, right? And let me get the super chat right quick. Fight Fury Films in the building. What's good, man? Good looking out, Fight Fury Films. He said Shakur is predictable and Teo will attack the body the easier target to hit. Shout out to Fight Fury Film in the building. And I think that's going to be an arsenal that's going to be good. And I know that Coach Anthony know that Teofimo Lopez is going to go good to the body with the straight right hand and stuff like that. But anyway, you know more than anybody else, right? You did speak about Shakur Stevenson amateur background, amateur pedigree. Like I said in the beginning of the live, I said that Teofimo Lopez, he won the USA Olympic trial, so he got amateur pedigree as well, right? He represented Honduras in the USA in Olympic because he couldn't represent USA. But anyway,
which a lot of fighters do that when they can't make it to the USA team. A lot of fighters
no. But the thing is, he won the USA Olympic trial. He's the only fighter in 100+ year sports in the sport of boxing that won the USA Olympic trial and didn't represent. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always knew that Teofimo Lopez always got a chip on his shoulder. Since right now he's still got a chip on his shoulder. But see, the thing is that Teo already shown us at the highest level. Like for me, when it's time to compare Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson as a professional, it's more perception of Shakur and it's more the it factor. I know what Teofimo Lopez is at the highest level. He's proven it. Has Shakur Stevenson proven to you at the highest level compared to Teofimo Lopez? Not what you feel the perception of his skill is at the highest level. Has he proven to you at the highest level that he's better than Teofimo Lopez at the highest level?
I mean, we can't compare the resume because we know that Teofimo fought the bigger names at this particular time, but we also have to pay attention to what the whole story is. Like I said before, we have to talk about the amateur pedigree of Shakur Stevenson when we talk about that. We have to talk about how he barely gets hit in these fights. We have to talk about the eye test. We have to talk about the stuff that we know that happens in the gyms, as well as people from behind the scenes that know certain fighters that got names who box each other in the gyms, and we know who gets outclassed and we don't speak about it publicly. So we have to take all these things into account when we're talking about a Shakur Stevenson and we're talking about a Teofimo Lopez. Shakur Stevenson, to me personally, and I could go on record and I could be wrong, but he reminds me, he's cut from the same cloth as the Floyd Mayweathers, the Terrence Crawfords, the Andre Wards. These are certain special fighters that you get, generational fighters that you get every decade. You get these special guys that are very, very, very difficult to beat. And Shakur Stevenson fits every criteria as one of those fighters that is extremely difficult to beat. Any man can be beat in this world. However, some guys are just that much more difficult. They just care that much more. We've seen Teofimo lose. We've seen Teofimo get a gift against Jermaine Ortiz. We know that he can get frustrated when a guy, don't say that because you know Jermaine Ortiz won that fight. Don't do that.
No. You know, we spoke about that. He didn't win that fight.
Okay.
He didn't win that fight. Jermaine Ortiz, but he didn't win that fight.
We know that he gets frustrated when you don't stand in front of him and you don't let him do what he wants to do. And you got a guy like Shakur Stevenson who's fought at the highest amateur level where these guys don't have time to prepare for 8 weeks, 12 weeks like they do for professional fights, and he was still able to perform. To me, Shakur Stevenson is as good as anybody that can go ahead and prove that he's already been at that level.
All right, coach, let me ask you a question. Seriously. Because you said yourself that Cepeda was Shakur Stevenson's best performance. If Teofimo Lopez, be real. If Teofimo Lopez would have performed the same way that Shakur Stevenson performed versus William Cepeda, what would the world of boxing would have thought of that performance of Teofimo Lopez versus William Cepeda? Be real.
It would have been a fire fight. I thought that was one of my favorite fights of the year. I thought that was a great fight.
Is it because that Shakur has the reputation of being so defensive, right? That he really doesn't risk fights. He doesn't really risk it out there. And then finally, he risked it with Cepeda and is like, oh, yo, damn, yo, to see his offensive, yo, he could get hit and he could hit and blah, blah, blah. But in all actuality, this is what I said the other day, and I don't know if you agree or not. The standard of what people feel about Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson is that Teofimo Lopez is up here and Shakur Stevenson up here in terms of standard in terms of what you expect from Shakur and Teo? Because if Teo would have performed like that versus William Cepeda, they would have been like, that's mediocrity. Yo, Teofimo Lopez, why you ain't knock him out? He's not a world champion. He never beat a world champion. He was nobody. Who's William Cepeda at the end of the day? But for Shakur Stevenson, that's his best performance. Teofimo Lopez.
Hold on. We're not going to say that was his best performance. We're going to say that you asked me, what do you think is his biggest win to date? Now,
Okay.
when you talk about best performances, I would have to go through his list. I'm sure he's outclassed guys where he didn't even barely get hit and he won clearly. But we all know that the boxing casual doesn't appreciate boxing skill set. What they want is knockouts. So people fall in love with the big punchers. That's why everybody was going for Canelo. That's why everybody likes Teofimo Lopez, because you know he's got dynamite in those hands. But when you see a guy with a lesser power punch still able to go in a pocket and perform when everybody felt that he couldn't do that, that's what's impressive about the situation. So we have to remember that Shakur Stevenson isn't a big puncher, but he can still beat big punchers. We watched Floyd Mayweather do that throughout his whole career. And now we appreciate Floyd Mayweather, or some still don't, but I appreciate Floyd Mayweather as one of the greatest fighters that ever laced a pair of gloves. And he wasn't a big puncher. So we have to remember that not all great fighters are big punchers.
As Pretty Boy Floyd. Because you know in boxing, Floyd Mayweather was so great that we look at him as two people. Floyd, let's be real, coach. Floyd Mayweather was so great that we look at him like two different type of Hall of Fame fighters. Pretty Boy Floyd and Money May. Money May is the defensive fighter that played it safe, didn't take too many risks. Pretty Boy Floyd was a whole different type of fighter. Pretty Boy Floyd ain't no Shakur Stevenson. Let's be real, let's be honest, coach. Pretty Boy Floyd was knocking dudes out, was putting hurt on dudes, was breaking dudes down. He was offensively minded, and we did see Pretty Boy Floyd also get caught, chop Corley, they wobbled them and stuff like that. You saw the character of Pretty Boy Floyd. So I'm not going to compare Shakur. I have not seen the Pretty Boy Floyd version of Shakur Stevenson. I've seen the Money Made version of Shakur Stevenson. But when it comes to Pretty Boy Floyd, nah, my brother. Nah, let's go, coach. Come on, I know you're a Floyd fan too.
Floyd Mayweather was more of a risk taker than Shakur. And
Pretty Boy Floyd, right?
Pretty Boy and Money May, like he took risks, but my whole thing is, I mean, he threw less punches as Money May due to his hands situation, but when he was Floyd, he still was very defensive, but he took more risks. But at the end of the day, I remember, because I was watching Floyd throughout his whole prime. I remember him getting criticized even when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. He was getting criticized his whole fucking career for being a runner and all this extra shit. And when he fought Castillo, people thought he lost, and people this, that, and the other. So he's been getting crucified his whole career. And he ends up being 50-0. Now people are looking at him, and you still got people who say he ducked this guy, even though he fought more world champions than anybody with 50 fights or less. So I think in history to make that a Hall of Fame world champion at that. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. People like knockouts. So people genuinely go for the big puncher. But throughout history, we've seen most of the time when you got a big puncher versus an extremely good defensive fighter and they end up meeting, there's usually the defensive skilled fighter that wins that fucking fight most of the time, unless he gets knocked out with one shot.
Let me get this super chat, coach. Shout out to Fight Fury Films in the building with a $20 super chat. Good looking out, my brother. If Shakur was levels above everyone, as they all say, what happened with the De Los Santos? Why? See, when the tough gets going, good looking out, my brother. God bless you, Fight Fury Films. When the tough gets going, I seen Teofimo Lopez in the 12th round when the tough got going, when Vasily Lomachenko started rallying up. I seen Teofimo Lopez show that dog. Nah. You ain't gonna rally up. I'm gonna capitalize 50% of his power punches. He landed 50 power shots on 50%. Nah, when the tough gets going for Shakur Stevenson, Forrest Gump. See, and that's what I mean. Like, I've seen Teofimo Lopez win his world title knockout. I seen Teofimo Lopez at the highest level outboxing dudes in the respective division. That's what the reason why he's two-time lineal. I never seen Shakur Stevenson in the ring with half of the athleticism of Teofimo Lopez. Who has even come half to what Teofimo Lopez is athletically wise, amateur pedigree wise, professional pedigree wise? Who has Shakur Stevenson beat that you could say, like, damn, he give you a glimpse of what Teofimo Lopez could do?
This is what's crazy about boxing and boxing fans. See, when you don't know somebody, now we look at him and we downgrade him, and we
No, we're not downgrading. I want you to tell us.
I'm just saying, we downgrade a guy that we don't know, because we see, when you're in boxing, it's not the best fighter who makes it, it's the best moved fighter who makes it, right? We get a guy like De Los Santos. We barely know this fucking guy. I didn't know who the fuck he was. Now we see him. I mean, you got the diehards who've been watching, pay attention to everything. I'm not one of those guys anymore. I don't watch every fighter. But at the end of the day, he comes in, he gives a good performance, and now it's like, oh, you had a hard time with De Los Santos? Well, De Los Santos can fucking fight. That's for one. Secondly, Shakur Stevenson said that he was, I think, hurt in that fight. So he says, allegedly, I don't know if it's true. It could be an excuse. It could not be an excuse. But let's just assume that he was hurt, okay? Because most fighters do go into fights hurt, okay?
Like
so,
Tio versus Camboso?
Hold on. Let's assume that Shakur was hurt.
Okay.
Let's give De Los Santos his credit for being a good fighter, okay? Shakur still found a way to fucking win. So at the end of the day, we could talk about all we want, or we could say that motherfucker figured out a way to win. And this is what I mean. Shakur wants to win more, I believe, than Teofimo Lopez, because Teofimo's already tasted defeat. And when he was fighting Jermaine Ortiz, to me, he lost that fight. That was the second time he tasted defeat that he didn't take on record. So he shows that he can be defeated mentally, where Shakur hasn't shown that yet.
But see, right there, then there's a contradiction, because if I want to bring the same excuse, if people are going to bring the injury with Edo de los Santos, I could say everybody knew about, even the doctors, 3 doctors from New York City said that this guy should have never been in the ring until Teofimo Lopez with George Camboso. I could also say that, you know what? He did find a way to win versus Jermaine Ortiz. He did find a way to win versus Sando Martin, just like Shakur Stevenson found a way to win versus Edo de los Santos. It's the same thing. The same. If Shakur Stevenson didn't perform to the level of his expectations or the level of the expectation of the boxing fans, right, versus Edo de los Santos, then coach, I even gave Shakur Stevenson the benefit of the doubt, because what I seen after the Nakatilia fight, I seen how he was going for the gusto versus Heron. I see him go for the gusto versus Oscar Valdez. I see him going for the gusto versus Canso Ciao. So I even gave Shakur Stevenson the benefit of the doubt that, damn, I even said something was wrong with him. When I did the live commentary to the Edo de los Santos, I said, nah, something got to be wrong with Shakur Stevenson, because he's fighting uncharacteristic, right? But then I know also that Teofimo Lopez was not supposed to be in that ring versus George Camboso. I know that personally. That's why I never made a prediction. I know that personally. So I could use the same excuse.
No, you can't. No, you can't. I'll tell you why.
Why? Hold on. Let me hold your thought. Hold your thought. So I get the super chat.
The way to win. See the difference?
Let me hold your thought. Let me hold your thought with that. Damien in the building. What's good? Tio would have take the fight in the trenches to slow Shakur down. Body shots, bully Shakur. Let's go, Damien. Let's go. Shout out to the $20 super chat by Dame in the building. Let's go. Another super chat.
Shout out to Damien, bro. Shout out to you, bro.
Manny, Vibes TV with the $5 super chat. Shakur ain't no pretty boy Floyd. He looks scared to get hit at all times. He seemed genuinely scared of Edo de los Santos. El dominicano, el platanero, el mangú con los 3 golpes. You know everything about el mangú con los 3 golpes, ¿verdad? Coach Anthony. Tio has shown that he's a dog, and Shakur Stevenson showed that he was a Yorkie. He showed he was meow, 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 meow. He showed he a little kitty cat. Let's go. Talk to me.
So hold on. So back to your point. You're bringing up a guy who had a reason he shouldn't have been in the ring, and I brought up a guy who had a reason he should have been. But
No. I'm saying that we could use the same excuse.
Huh?
No. I'm saying, look, I'm not using that Cambosa's excuse, and I'm not using the injury that Shakur Stevenson. As for real, like on the real, no cloud, no trolling and stuff like that. I truly believe, and I did, and I said it during the live, and I said a video about it, and I gave Shakur Stevenson the benefit of the doubt that he was injured. And guess what? I didn't know that he was injured. And then when the story came out after, when Timothy Bradley said about his shoulder and stuff like that, because I watch boxing, I do film study, I know that was uncharacteristic by Shakur Stevenson, but I also knew about Teofimo Lopez as well. I was with Teo. I told Teofimo Lopez that the Wednesday leading up to the fight with George Cambosa, I said, yo, why you gonna fight, bro? You remind me of my son, because my son suffered from chronic asthma. And the dude was, he was supposed to be in the hospital. The whole family was crying, trying to take him to the emergency room. I was there. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, they ain't gonna give me the benefit of the doubt, but I know that he was not supposed to step inside that ring. But in the end of the day, you did step inside that ring, so there's no excuse. Shakur Stevenson, you stepped this day. I say, yo, I'm more proud of Teofimo Lopez versus George Cambosa than any other fight, because I personally know what he was going through stepping inside that ring.
So look, let's go to your theory. Okay, we're gonna go to your theory, and everybody in the chat. Shout out to the chat, all you guys in there who's like picking Teofimo Lopez.
He's the favorite. Shakur's the favorite to win.
What's the strategy? How you gonna do it? How you gonna? What's the game plan? Because I could give you the game plan for Shakur. What's the game plan for Teo?
All right, so I think that the game plan for Teo is this. The game plan for Teo, I think, is going straight to the body. I think that Teofimo Lopez is great in closing the range and quickly getting out of range, better than a lot of fighters that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it with the likes of John Taylor. We've seen it with Vasily Lomachenko when he hit that straight right hand to the solo plex. We've seen it with Barbosa. You know what I'm saying? He's not a tall guy. He's not the most powerful guy, but he's so athletic that he could close the range and get out of range very, very quickly. He does rely on his reflexes like a lot of athletic fighters throughout the history of the sport of boxing have. Henry Hank, Roy Jones Jr., Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm not saying he's dumb, but I'm saying that his athletic ability, the God-given athletic ability, speed, and power could be a how you say, a gift and a curse, right? You could rely too much on your reflex, then you could also be not defensively responsible, because you rely more on your reflex than really catching and shooting and stuff like that. But Teofimo Lopez does all of that. Shakur Stevenson doesn't rely on that because he doesn't have those natural God-given ability like a Teofimo Lopez, that he could take the type of risk that Shakur can't. That's why we look at Shakur Stevenson more of a defensive fighter, and we don't be like, wow, he's an offensive fighter, because he can't take the risk like Teofimo Lopez. And when he does take the risk offensively like Teofimo Lopez, he gets hit 272 times by William Cepeda. When Shakur Stevenson takes risk, he gets hit.
Well, let's.
And I got the numbers. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't.
But okay, listen. He might have got hit 272 times, but the risk that he took with Teofimo Lopez. Go ahead, you can answer the chat.
Fight Fury Film with the $20 super chat. A comprar comida china. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't subscribed to Coach Anthony, subscribe to Coach Anthony, the prestige trainer out here, worldwide trainer, Coach Anthony, and also Mitt. What's the name of it?
$1 Million mitts. So for all my people out there who want to learn how to hold mitts the right way, mitts have put me in world championship corners. I work with some of the best fighters, been in some of the best positions because of preparing mitts. You want to learn how to hold mitts, you want to start your own coaching career, check out $1MillionMitts.com. Shout out to
$1MillionMitts.com right now. Everybody subscribe. Y'all already know it's Christmas, so y'all got money in your pocket. And if you could give a gift to somebody, you know what I'm saying? You could give it a gift to your homeboy that need to learn how to fight. You got to give it to your baby moms and stuff like that. So when she's slapping you up, she could, you know what I'm saying? You know, you could get just give it up.
Listen, AI is taking all the jobs. We all know that. One day there's gonna be an AI of you and an AI of me talking on these computers. But you ain't gonna be able to AI no mitt work. You ain't gonna be able to AI no trade. You actually got to get in front of the person yourself. So if you want an AI-proof career, learn how to hold some mitts. You can charge $100, $200 an hour, man. It's not bad money.
That's what's up. Yo, Fight Fury Films, good looking out. He said, if Crawford can look bad at 154 and can beat a fighter like Canelo, then why can't Teo beat Shakur despite having a bad fight? You want to answer that one?
Hold on. If Crawford can look bad at 154 and beat a fighter like Canelo, why can't Teo beat Shakur to fight? Well, why can't, I mean, listen, it's not that Teo can't beat Shakur. I'm just looking at the overall skill set. And what I'm looking at is the main issue I think that is going to hinder Teofimo Lopez is he doesn't like fighting movers and he doesn't throw enough punches. And I don't think you beat a guy with exceptional footwork like Shakur Stevenson, who if he doesn't want to get hit, you ain't hitting that motherfucker. Okay, that's one. He got a good jab. He can also smother you, get in the pocket. And when he fought Cepeda, like you say, taking risks, he stood in front of Cepeda the whole entire night. How many times do you think Teofimo would have got hit if he stood in front of Cepeda the way Shakur did? He would have got hit 572.
I don't see. That's why I disagree with you.
He might have gotten a knockout. He might have knocked Cepeda out because he has a bigger punch, but he hit double the amount of times.
But that's why I disagree. See, when he was in the middle of the ring versus Vasilem Chico, he was in the middle of the ring with Josh Taylor. He was in the middle of the ring with Steve Claggett. He was in the middle. He was the one that's chasing Jermaine Ortiz. He's the one that's chasing Sando Martin. He's the one in the middle of the ring versus with Barbosa. So that's what I'm talking about. See, it's finally that Shakur Stevenson had the balls to step in, to be in the middle of the ring and take some risk. And where'd that defensive wizard go? Where would that defensive wizard go?
It was there. He was defensive in the pocket. When you're in the pocket, you're gonna get hit. This is part of boxing. Boxing, you get hit. There's not a boxer in this world who hasn't been hit. And in a professional fight against a high-quality fighter, especially an aggressive fighter like Cepeda, let's not act like Cepeda's not one of the best value punchers in boxing, okay? Cepeda could throw a lot of fucking punches. Those type of fighters are very difficult to beat. Guys like Pitbull Cruz, very difficult to beat. These guys throw a lot of fucking punches. He went inside in the pocket. Yeah, he got hit 272 times in a 12-round match. However, he was still able to smother 75% of those shots and win the inside battle against a guy who you guys, I'm pretty sure if I go back to your live streams 6 months ago, and I bet you everybody show, if he decides to stand in front of Cepeda, he's going to get fucked up. And that's exactly what he did, and he fucking won. I think
that was an easy, for me, that was an easy fight for
Shakur Stevenson before they fought. I want to see what y'all was saying.
For me, that was an easy fight to pick. I picked Shakur Stevenson, but I'm going to tell you like this. One thing about Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, I think they think in terms of, they think alike in terms of they truly want to be great. They truly have a chip on their shoulder. And I believe that they also listen to the critics and listen to the critics to the benefit of them getting better, right? So when you as a coach, you said, damn, if Teofimo Lopez should throw more punches. I even told his dad, I told him years ago, I'm like, you know, what are the things that I would love to see from Teofimo Lopez? It was two things. You're fast enough, you're athletic enough, you're powerful enough. I should see more high volume punching, especially at the lightweight division and stuff like that, in the 140-pound division, in which you're actually the smallest 140. He's a big 135, but a small 140, right? You should throw more punches with the speed that you got and things of that nature, right? We want to see Shakur Stevenson take more risk. So Shakur actually showed in his last fight. I'm gonna show y'all how I look when I take risk. Teofimo Lopez versus the Steve Claggett and Barbosa. I'm gonna up my punches. And if you look, I'm gonna bring out the stats so you can see, right? Right? This is Shakur Stevenson versus William Cepeda. Shakur Stevenson threw 500 shots and Cepeda threw 900 punches, landed 272 shots on 27%. But if you look at Lopez versus Steve Claggett, where he got massively criticized, Teofimo Lopez threw 900 punches. So okay, I'm gonna throw a lot of punches. A lot of people's telling me that I should be more high volume. I should be more high volume. So you could see that Teofimo Lopez, all right, he could throw 900 shots. Versus Barbosa, he threw 500 shots. So if you look at the numbers, Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson really throw the almost the same amount of shots averagely. Average.
Accuracy? Can we talk about the accuracy?
Oh yeah, we could throw. Look at the accuracy right there.
52% of the shots he threw. That's how accurate he is.
Oh, of course, look, 52% versus William Cepeda, and that's why a lot of people, even myself, marvel that performance. But when it comes to defense, when he took the risk, as we all know, you take more risk. If you take more,
I hit 22%,
27%.
That's good.
But what I'm saying, no, it's good. No, what I'm saying, I'm not. Look, I like the performance versus William Cepeda. What I'm saying is, if Teo, because of what we expect from Teo, and what we
hours, he won't fight Teo like that.
But I'm saying if Teo would have fought the same way that Shakur fought William Cepeda, he would be heavily criticized.
Of course,
it wouldn't be a great performance. Why? And I'm asking you why. Why it wouldn't be?
The reason why is because we fall in love with a fighter style. If Mike Tyson went 12 rounds with I don't know, somebody that he should have knocked out in 3 rounds.
I said that. As a matter of fact, let me piggyback off y'all.
We're gonna criticize Mike Tyson for not getting the knockout, not necessarily the victory.
Like Razor Ruddock, right?
So mad at Muhammad Ali for going 10 or 12 rounds. Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman, okay? George Foreman was knocking everybody the fuck out. Muhammad Ali wasn't no knockout puncher. And he went ahead and he stopped George Foreman with the rope-a-dope, right? So we have to remember that we fall in love with a fighter's makeup as well. So we know Teofimo's a big puncher / he's a boxer puncher. We know Shakur is a boxer, defensive wizard boxer. So we're gonna criticize these guys for what their makeup is. So when we see a defensive boxer go in the pocket, we're going to say, wow, that was impressive. If we see Teofimo go 12 rounds one day against somebody who he should be having struggles with and he doesn't get touched, we're going to say, damn, Teofimo could box like a motherfucker. Like when we see Gervonta Davis box against Pitbull Davis, Pitbull, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, damn, look, he showed that he could box even though he only had one hand. Everybody knows Davis for walking you down and knocking you out. But if Davis shows that he could box, now we're impressed because we're like, shit. He could do it all. So we fall in love with the makeup of a fighter just as much as the outcome of a fighter.
But that's my point right there. Teo already showed that at the highest level, I could knock out a champion. And at the highest level, I cannot only just outbox a good champion, not just an elite champion. I could outbox and show levels above a pound-for-pound champion. Teofimo Lopez, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Teofimo Lopez is the only fighter that's about to fight Shakur Stevenson on a pound for pound list. This is his 3rd pound for pound fighter he's going up against. In the last 40 years in the sport of boxing, coach, nobody has fought in their prime 3 pound for pound fighters. Pound for pound in their prime. Josh Taylor on his prime, Lomachenko on his prime, Shakur Stevenson on his prime. The thing is, Teo already shown me. I don't have to guess which Teofimo Lopez is going to show up. I don't have to guess.
So did Canelo before he fought Crawford. He showed you.
No. Look. He fought Triple G.
Yeah, so I'm saying Canelo showed you more than Terrence Crawford showed you before they fought each other.
Yeah.
So we can't go off of that. What we have to go off of is Shakur Stevenson's defensive skill set that we know is elite because he's an Olympic silver medalist. That's one. We can't ignore that. Secondly, he barely gotten hit in his professional boxing career. He's barely gotten hit in his professional boxing career, and he showed he could go in the pocket. You know,
but at least he showed. At least Terrence Crawford showed us at the welterweight division.
I got a little gift for y'all, man. Say something real quick. We got the one and only. I gotta get in there, bro.
Oh, right.
Fast at damn, bro. There you go.
What's good, Eddie Chambers? What's good, Eddie Chambers? What's good?
Good.
Who you
That's
got?
good, champ.
In that fight, no disrespect, bro, but Shakur.
Get out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Hold on. I'm gonna let Eddie get like his little 5 minutes of fame on the best
Get the hell out of here.
on the best network ever. Ask Eddie real quick why you think Shakur will win.
Eddie, finesse. See, you see the hat? I know you a finesse type of style of fighter. You the finesse type. I know you like Shakur. So why you got Shakur over Teofimo Lopez?
I think the difference is Shakur's defense. It really is. I think Teo's used to being able to touch you, being accurate, being able to land those shots, being able to do what he needs to do. Like even with Lomachenko, who's tricky, but Lomachenko's there sometimes to be hit. I think with I can't lost his damn name. Shakur, I think he's just not going to be there. He's not going to be easy to be touched. I think he's going to be able to punch in between shots too.
But isn't the sweet? I hear that a lot. I hear that he's going to be defensive. But isn't it hit and not get hit? It's not me not trying to get hit. No. Isn't the sweet science hit and not get hit? But the way that people analyzing it is, oh, he's not going to get hit. He's just not going to get hit. I asked Jermaine Ortiz, right? I asked Jermaine Ortiz. I said, yo, what would you would have done different? Because there's people out there like even Coach that says that, yo, he lost to Jermaine Ortiz. But I asked Jermaine Ortiz, what you would have done differently? He said, take it to him. You asked Sando Martin, what you would have done differently with Teofimo Lopez? Take it to him. There's going to be a point. If Shakur wants to win, now go 12, now play it safe, that if he wants to beat the champion at 140, the lineal champion, he's going to have to take it to him. Do you trust Shakur Stevenson taking it to Teofimo Lopez and what's gonna come right back when Shakur Stevenson does take it to him?
I don't think he's gonna do that. I think, this is the one thing that Shakur can do. And if Floyd Mayweather was able to do this, the real elite, like keep away fighters are able to do this. They're able to win by a little bit. Like even Andre Ward was able to do this, win by a little bit, just enough to win the round. Like for example, when he fought
Cove,
the real explosive puncher,
Chad Dawson.
No. I'm talking about
Kovalev.
No. I'm talking about Shakur.
Oh, Shakur. Cepeda or Oscar Valdez.
No, it's the fast, sharp one, heavy puncher. Yes, Dos Santos. When he fought him,
Santos,
and
the one he ran from.
Everybody hated the fight, but what happened? They were landing single-digit like numbers in the rounds. He landed just enough more. He was winning the rounds just enough to win the fight. I don't think Teofimo is ready to do that. I know.
But the thing is, Teo showed us that at the highest level.
Not like that.
You know what? To be honest, you know what it is. I think there's a performance of Teofimo. There has been performances like I think that Teofimo Lopez subpar performance have outweighed his great performance, and it's always should be that his great performance should outweigh his sluggish performance. You as a fighter, would you want to be defined with your great performance or the performance that you have a subpar performance? Because you could struggle with a lesser fighter.
Yeah, of course.
But if you already shown us at the highest level what you're capable of doing, I know that Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez is going to training camp to train for the best of each other. I know Shakur is not going to go to training camp and say, you know what, the Teofimo Lopez that fought George Campos is going to show up. The Teofimo Lopez that showed, a little bit of Jermaine Ortiz is going to show up.
Yeah.
He's going to train for the best Teo, and Teo's going to train for the best Shakur. So if you analyze the best Teo that you ever seen versus the best Shakur that you ever seen, who wins the fight?
I still go with Shakur because I think I'm going to be honest. Of all the ones I've seen, and I think Tank is over the majority. and the guys who were in that bunch, right, that we were talking about, I would take Tank over the majority. Only one that I see that he would really, really. We already seen what happened when he got in there with my man. What was that said again?
Lamar Roach.
But I don't know why I'm having trouble remembering names right now. Maybe it's because it's late.
You're a fighter.
So we all know that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't think any of the other ones would get. The only other one that I was looking at that could be a real problem for him would be Shakur, because I feel like the other ones, and this is a style thing. I thought the other ones were going to have to try to fight Tank, and that was going to put him in a position to get clipped, and most of them will get clipped. But Shakur is the wild card. He's not going to put himself in that position. He's fine with being talked about as being terrible, or he don't fight, he run, or whatever the hell. He's as long as I win. And that's something that I see with Floyd. Like when Floyd came back as Money Mayweather, he's like, bro, I'm keeping this. That's all I care about. And I'm going to be marketable because everybody's going to want to see me lose. But Shakur is capable of that. I don't think Tio is.
That's why I have a hard. I mean, of course, you're a fighter. Coach Anthony, I respect y'all to the fullest and stuff like that. I love to be educated, you know what I'm saying? Because I know as a fighter and as a trainer, y'all
got a good boxing mind. I'm not saying you're wrong just because you're not what we are necessarily. I'm not saying that. I don't mind your pick. A lot of people will back you on it. What I'm saying is I'm looking at it from a boxing perspective, and I'm looking at, can Tio literally outbox a Shakur? And can he do it when it's not comfortable? Meaning when it's not like a big distance in ability, or he's knocking him down and he can't get. What about when he's struggling to hit him at all? What about if the rounds are close? If the rounds are close.
Let me ask you this, Eddie, and let me ask you that, and the same goes for Coach Ant. For people to understand, to people to better understand what your eyes see, and you know what I'm saying, because you got an educated eye more than most of us, you know what I'm saying. We're really looking at it from the outside in, right? What is the misconception of Shakur, and what is the misconception about Teofimo Lopez? For those who's picking Tio to win, and for those who's picking Shakur to win, you know, because of probably weaknesses that they see. But what is the misconception? What do you see that when you hear the analysis, the assessment of both fighters that people don't talk about? What is the misconception about Shakur, and what is the misconception about Tio?
The biggest misconception about Shakur is that he hasn't fought at this level, so he is not prepared for this level. That's the biggest assessment that I keep seeing in the chat. Everybody keeps talking about how he hasn't fought the same level as opposition as Tio, so you guys are ruling him out. It's not going to be the case. It's not going to be the case at all.
And what is the misconception about Tio?
I like the Terrence versus Crawford, and I was down Crawford.
You mean
Crawford versus Canelo? I was down Crawford, but Crawford was up.
So the biggest for me with Tio is they're going to always look at his performance against Kambosos. They keep on looking at that. They keep on bringing that up. That is not who we're going to get. I believe he's going to be the best he's ever been because he's fighting the best he's ever fought at this level. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lomachenko probably more decorated. You know what I mean? Let's call it what it is. Up to that point, I mean, you know, Shakur still has a lot more left to do before he's past that point. But right now, he's still at this stage in his career. He's fighting the best fighter. This is going to be the best fighter he's ever fought.
I think, and good answers. I think that's more of what the narrative is about. You know what I'm saying? But technical wise, right? Skillfully wise, what is the misconception of Tio, and what is the misconception about Shakur? What do the people say that he can't do but could really do? And what are the things that Teofimo Lopez that they be like he can't do, but you see that he could really do?
Oh well, I mean, to be honest, with Shakur, oh my bad. With Shakur, I think Shakur can punch better than people give him credit for.
There we go. I'm trying to get in the frame with y'all.
Everybody. Yeah, we all in now.
I got it.
Yeah, 3 against 1. What? No, but
you see that? You see that, folks, in the chat? They got a gang up on your boy Punch on Boxing. You know, it was just 1, not in 2, not in 3. Because they know that Tio's going to whoop Shakur. They know that Tio going to do it. The takeover is here, baby. That's
Listen, I want to see the best win. If he wins, he deserves the win. I don't see it being. And back to the misconception with him, let's say with Teo, he won't be able to box well enough to be in the fight. I think he can box well enough. I just think the difference is going to be the defensive responsibility that Shakur will show and punching in between spots. I think Shakur will be able to do that. And I think he will be able to get his respect with his power. That's what most people, Shakur can't punch. And maybe he's not a knockout puncher, but he definitely can get respect.
I'm actually surprised about how much Shakur is being underestimated and how much Teo's being overestimated for this particular fight. I'm actually
But how? Because Shakur is the massive favorite, though.
It's like this much of a like I didn't think that I would even be having these debates. Like I thought that it would be pretty clear. Like now,
but
I took a peek at the chat and I'm actually surprised. And I don't know if it's because this is your network and everybody follows you, but I'm surprised.
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Punch, that means you're doing something good because they listening. But my whole point is I'm surprised how many people are talking about Shakur Stevenson as if he is not arguably one of the best skilled technicians in the game right now. Like,
Coach, remember, Shakur is the massive favorite in the odds. So the most proven fighder.
I was just trying to straighten this out.
Think about it. Think about it, fellas. Shakur Stevenson. The odds is with y'all. The betting lines is with y'all because Teo is the most proven fighter at this level, and still there's question about Teo. Yeah, I asked the question, but y'all still you answering the misconception about Shakur. But why? What is the misconception about Teo? Because Teo is still the underdog after what he's done in the professional level. He's still the underdog versus a guy that's not proven like him. So what is the misconception about Teo? Why do they not picking Teo when he has proven at the highest level that he is that guy?
The Cambosis thing was based more on his mind, I think. More on his focus. I don't know about the training, but his mental thing.
Yeah, he has something going on in this fight. He already cleared that up. That's right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And I think a lot of people are saying, "Oh man, he lost to Cambosis, blah blah blah. He got mental issues, and he didn't look good in certain fights against guys who were lesser. Might have been the same kind of thing. Maybe it's just the matchups." But
put it this way, Eddie. Mm-hmm. You in the heavyweight division, you beat Tyson Fury. You beat Anthony Joshua, right? Let's say you beat Tyson Fury at the guys in the top. You beat Anthony Joshua. Alexander Usyk is coming up. They choose Alexander Usyk over you at the heavyweight division. Is it that's almost what it is?
They did it with Tyson Fury when he fought Usyk.
The first fight, who was the favorite? Tyson Fury was the favorite in the first fight.
I think it was split.
It was close.
It was close. I think it might have been.
But it was close because he laid an egg versus the Francis Ngannou. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But if it wasn't for that,
I'm just saying, that's a good example right there. I mean, when you're him, people can see it before you actually had to do it.
But wouldn't you feel like, yo, I beat Fury, I beat AJ. I mean, like, what is these people telling me that this guy coming up gonna beat me? I'm the proven one. This guy hasn't.
Listen, I did go through that. Like, I mean, do you think that they even had a sliver of hope for me going to the Klitschko? They didn't even film the fight. The only way a person in America could watch that fight is if they went on his website to stream it.
Facts.
They didn't care nothing about it. Man, this dude gonna go over there and get knocked out first round. They didn't back me. So I've dealt with that my entire career. Most of the fights that I had that I won, I was the B side. So I understand what Teofimo was going through. Even though I was more proven than Arreola. I was more proven than some of these other fighters that were also behind me. It was coming up, and they still would back them. And me and Chris was on the same promotional company. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I had to beat Sam Peter first. Then I had to beat.
Hold on. You said Tio's footwork is way better than Shakur's.
Let me read the let's read the super chat. Let's read the super chat. Manny Vibe TV said, "Good looking out. God bless you." My brother said, "Tio's footwork is way better than Shakur. Shakur doesn't move much. He uses his reflexes and hasn't faced anyone with Tio's footwork, counter punching, and explosiveness." Shout out to Manny Vibes. Is it that true? Is it true?
No, that's not true either.
I like the counter punching and the explosiveness. I mean, I don't know if he does better countering than Shakur, but he's definitely more explosive than Shakur. But
what have y'all seen at the highest level?
Hey, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. I got the Master Boxing Bundle for you. Okay? A lot of education on there about boxing that you need to go ahead and start to figure out and learn, because there's no way you're going to tell me or Fast Eddie Chambers that he's got better footwork and Shakur doesn't utilize. Did he say Shakur doesn't utilize footwork?
No, but I think what he's trying to say. What I think he's trying to say is, come on, guys, let's be real, let's be honest. Shakur Stevenson never been in the ring with something like a Teofimo Lopez. Athleticism, explosive wise. Come on, no Artem, Yoshino, Jamel Hearing, Nakathelia. Come on, man.
Now listen.
You don't look like you.
I know Teofimo's gonna eventually see this. Teo, you're a great fighter. It's just stylistically, I don't like this fight for Teo. As far as me picking him to win, I think it's a good fight for him. Hey, go be great. However, it's just a styles make fights. It has nothing to take away from his credibility, his skill set, any of that stuff.
So y'all looking at this like it's not necessarily. So y'all believe that Teo is a better fighter. It's just the style is all wrong.
I think he's better fighter than we sound right now. Right. I think right now, if you was to chop this up and clip it, it would sound like I'm a Teofimo hater. Right. It's not the case at all. What I'm saying is stylistically, I don't think he could beat Shakur Stevenson. Is he a great fighter? Is he a top?
Is he a better fighter than Shakur?
100%. Can he maybe even beat a few guys in more impressive fashion than Shakur? Yes, probably. He probably go in there and knock out De Los Santos. He'll probably go in there and knock out Cepeda. He probably will do that.
Not like the Four Kings.
Yeah, like one.
Is Teo a better fighter than Shakur Stevenson? Yes or no?
Is Teo a better Shakur? What are we saying? Fighter or boxer? Because we're in a boxing match.
Is he a better boxer, fighter, or however you want to describe a prize fighter?
All things considered, no. I think there's certain things he
does things better. He has better attributes in certain areas, like he is explosive. He has more power. I agree in both hands. He is very athletic, arguably more athletic. He could probably do a somersault or some sort of a backflip.
Damn it, is he a better fighter, yes or no?
No, I said no. I don't think so.
All right, so it's not about the matchup. It's about that, in your eyes, he's just not a better fighter than Teo, but Teo has proven to you that he's a better fighter at the highest level.
Hold on. What did you say?
No, say it again.
I'm saying that y'all saying it's stylistically, but in all actuality, you just think that Shakur is a better fighter than Teo. It's just not stylistically with you.
I mean, listen, if they was to fight in a bar, I got Teo. If they was to fight in an alley, I probably got Teo. But if we're talking about a boxing ring with gloves on, where they're circling and shit, I got Shakur Stevenson.
Let me get this super chat question. I like this. Christian Padilla said, question. Is Will Crawford avenge his little bros after Teo beats Shakur, especially if Teo stops Shakur?
Oh, so he's saying if Will Crawford avenged Shakur if Teo stops him.
Hold on, say that. What says?
Crawford avenge him.
Go back.
It says question.
Will Crawford avenge his little? At this point, no, I don't think so. I don't think that Crawford would waste his time doing that. I think Crawford is on to doing really big deals right now, and I don't think that Teofimo is going to fit that narrative for him.
Let me guess. Caesar. Good looking out, my brother. God bless you, my brother, with the $10 super chat. Says, Coach, and just for your information, Teo faster, foot movement, twitch movement, stronger puncher, has beat elite fighters. Shakur has not beat an elite fighter has never faced anyone like Tio, just for your information. Is that a factual statement?
Thank you for the information.
Come on, answer the damn super chat, coach. Answer the damn super chat.
Look, we just gave him his flowers. We said how good of a fighter.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm trying to say.
We're not trying to say he's not.
No. I understand the matchup because we all seen Ricardo Mayorga versus Forrest, and we all know that Forrest is a better fighter, but the matchup was all wrong for him. So I understand.
Yeah, this is one of those things where when you give your honest opinion, you can sound like a hater, but you're just giving an honest opinion.
No, well, I mean, if I don't know how other people take it, but I understand 100% when it comes to matchups, right? Sometimes, like I just said, Ricardo Mayorga, we all could say that Forrest was a better fighter, is a better boxer than Ricardo Mayorga, but Ricardo Mayorga just had his number. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you're not just saying that the matchup is all wrong for Tio. You saying that Shakur is better fighter than Tio, a better boxer than Tio.
Because I did say that I think Tio beats him in the alley.
So what I'm saying is, I'm saying Tio just didn't show that he's just a better puncher when he outboxed Lomachenko and Josh Taylor. He showed at the highest level that I am a technician. I am a boxer. He outboxed the technician, the pound for pound fighters. He didn't knock them out. He didn't have a puncher's chance.
Right.
So where is the respect for Tio as a boxer at the highest level? He's proven to us. Shakur hasn't proven to us.
But those guys aren't as defensively aware, responsible, or minded as Shakur Stevenson. The guys that he's beaten at those levels, those guys are more risk takers. Those guys are more there to be hit, and I think that's the difference.
That is 100% what it is.
Oh, let me get Fight Fury Films. Good looking out, Fight Fury Films. Super chat. Said it's crazy how Shakur gives Tio his flowers, yet the pundits discredit Tio's completely, like he ain't generational special talent. Special talent. To be honest, that's what I get from a lot of people in the boxing industry. They haven't respected Teofimo Lopez. It don't matter what that kid does. I think if Tio beats Shakur, he will still not get his credit.
No. For me,
what if he beats Shakur? He's going to get.
Think about it. But think about it. Tell me in the history of the sport of boxing, you got a 2-time lineal champion, not even on the pound for pound list. In the history, 100+ years in the sport of boxing, Jack Dempsey, 1923. Just think about it. He never gets his just due. It don't matter what he does.
Is it the people that he beat to become I don't know, bro. I can't answer that. I mean, I don't know, because all this lineal shit happened within the last decade, right? Like that's more.
There's been longer.
Is it that just that last decade, or is it that there's a fighter that because it's Tio, then being a lineal is not important anymore?
Nah,
because it's Tio. But if it's Shakur, if it's Terrence Crawford beating Earl Spence, oh my God. But if it's Tio beating Lomachenko and Josh Taylor in 2 different divisions at the age of 25, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, Shakur is gonna come up and beat him, and he's a better fighter.
I'm gonna be honest. Him beating Lomachenko, the fight was good. The fight wasn't like that far apart. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was a knockdown. He was knocking him down and busting his ass like it was. He was in the fight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when he beat Josh Taylor after that, now it could have been from that fight. Let's say that, but he just hasn't looked good. He didn't look like the lineal guy at 140 no more. You know what I mean? Even up to that fight, he wasn't really looking great. You know what I mean? So it's really about who he beat. It wasn't so much about the fact that he is lineal champion in both divisions at that age. It was who he beat. That's why. They just don't respect his resume. Now, if he beats Shakur, totally different game. And if he beats Shakur, he gets his respect.
I don't know.
100%.
I hope. To be honest, I hope he does. Listen, but I, to be honest, in the landscape of the American fan base, I don't think he'll get his just due.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, he beats him. he's getting his goddamn credit.
Yeah. Everybody.
Is he the second best fighter in the sport? He beat Shakur.
Shakur Stevenson, you best believe his stock will go up like it's never ever, even more than when he beat Lomachenko.
It's hard to say if he's the second best fighter in boxing because you still got the monster, and you got Usyk in the heavyweight division, and then you got Crawford. It's hard to say second.
Top 3.
I would say maybe top 5.
Bud, Usyk, and Teo.
Yeah,
he beat Shakur. 5. Remember, like 15 minutes ago, Teofimo Lopez is the only one in the last 40 years that has faced at the time a pound for pound fighter at their prime. The last, what is Sugar Ray Leonard? It's maybe Oscar De La Hoya when he beat the guys like Pernell Whitaker. He beat Chavez, and he lost to
Trinidad.
He lost to Trinidad. He lost to Mosley. Yeah. Fernando Vargas. I don't know what he was. I don't think he was in the pound for pound list at the time. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's what Teofimo Lopez is doing at his age and who he's fighting. I really don't think he get his just due. Let me get this one. Manny Vibes again with the $5 super chat. Good looking. I appreciate you, my brother. He said Teo literally neutralized Loma's footwork. How is Shakur's footwork better than Lomachenko's?
Well, listen. Well, this is the thing. I know why people like Lomachenko's footwork, because you guys fall in love with the flash and dazzle. It's kind of like anything that's fancy, right? So you see Lomachenko cutting these angles off of a straight left hand, and then he'll do a short pivot, and you guys are like, oh my God, I've never seen something so spectacular. But you got to think, man, footwork isn't just cutting angles the way Lomachenko did. You got lateral movement where you're going ahead, distance control, not being able to get trapped in the corner. Like, Shakur does a lot of great things with his feet. It might not be all these fancy angles that Lomachenko does, but it's still fantastic footwork. If he decides that he doesn't want to get hit against Teofimo Lopez, you're basically gonna watch a fight completely one-sided fight, and you're gonna have to credit it to his footwork because he's not gonna stand in front of you.
Fralis was good looking out with the $2 super chat. Which fighter would you pay to see?
Well, I mean, that's like
what do you mean?
That's what he's trying to say. That I know what he's trying to say.
Oh, who would I prefer to?
Teofimo was.
It would depend on who they're fighting, truthfully, because there's been fights at Teo's fought that I didn't even stay home to watch, and they weren't. It depends on who they're both fighting. They're the kind of fighters they need another name. Like, they need another name. Like, I'm not excited to watch Shakur if he's not fighting a name, and I'm not excited to watch Teo if he's not fighting a name.
I think the misconception, I say this technically wise, I think the misconception about Teofimo Lopez's defense, I think he has good defense, got good counter punching. I think he know how to catch and shoot, stay in the pocket when he's catching, when he's shooting, when he's slipping punches, countering punches. I think he's more confident in slipping punches and countering punches better than Shakur Stevenson. I think he's more confident in doing that. I think he's more confident in staying in the line of fire and knowing that his punch is going to get there and he's going to be defensively sound. We've seen it with Bob. When Teo doesn't want to like show off and be like, I'm just going to go out there and win the boxing bout. You know what I'm saying? And we saw it with Josh Sater, we seen Lomachenko, we saw it with his last fight with Barbosa. When he's like, I'm going to be the amateur Teofimo Lopez who won the USA Olympic trial. I think the misconception is that his defense, lack of defense. I think he really got a good defense. I think the misconception about Shakur Stevenson is his power going to the body. You know what I'm saying? I like the way that he goes to the body with the straight left hand. We've seen him knock down fighters with the body shot and stuff like that. I don't know how second half of the fight is he going to be, we seen it even in his we seen it versus Pat Lee. Every time when he touched that body, he like, with the hand, like he hurts his hand in every fight. In the second half of the fight with a guy like Teofimo Lopez, I don't know how much his hand is gonna.
No, that's the best thing you said this whole entire year.
What you trying to say, man? I don't say good things, huh?
Because if he does hurt his hand,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, we got a serious problem because you're gonna need both hands against Teofimo Lopez. So, for sure, if he hurts his hand, that's a problem. I don't see him winning with one hand like Eddie versus Adamek. You know what I'm saying? I don't see Shakur doing that. So he needs both of his hands for sure.
As good as he
So
is.
if you don't have Teofimo Lopez winning, y'all got Shakur Stevenson. What does Teofimo Lopez has to do to be Shakur Stevenson?
Well, I think that Teofimo Lopez, one, is going to have to really use his jab this fight. He can't depend on landing just a big hook, a big overhand right over the top, even though he's going to need those punches as well. He's going to have to be more busier than he's been in previous fights. Obviously, he's going to have to attack the body, change levels, and try to be as sneaky as he possibly can be. But he's going to have to be more – he needs to be a little bit more offensive-minded than he's been against movers in the past, because a guy like Shakur Stevenson, the reason that I'm picking Shakur is because in a close fight like this where you have two highly talented guys, it's the very small details that separate the two. And I just think that Shakur Stevenson pays attention to those little details, that milli-inch that he has to step back, that tough decision to not throw or throw the punch in that particular moment. Shakur does those things just a little bit better. So in order for Teofimo to capitalize, he needs volume, because we all know it's a law of average. The more you throw, the more chance you got to get something through. I don't think he's going to get knocked out by anything Shakur throws as far as a single shot goes. So I think he gets the chance to take those risks a little bit more against Shakur, and hopefully something gets through, and then maybe he could change the fight in his favor.
Rapstar Boxing Knowledge, the voice of the UK, London, says, which boxer can bring a better game plan?
I think that Shakur has the better game plan. I just think that he's more of the thinking man's fighter. He's
a higher IQ fighter.
Yeah, like I think that.
Exactly.
Yeah, he. When you got a guy who doesn't.
He's a more IQ fighter, but y'all do give credit that Teofimo Lopez have an IQ, or is he just
We're talking a difference of this.
It's not.
Okay.
We're talking a difference of this. You ever hear the one theory? I think it was Will Smith that said it. He said the difference from 90% and 100% is like fucking astronomical.
Yes.
Getting to 100, like 90%, we could all do that. But the separation from 90 to 100, now that takes everything. And I think a guy like Shakur, I think that's the 10% gap between Shakur and Teo. It's like that extra 10% goes to Shakur, in my opinion.
No Cable TV says Styles make fight, but look what Ortiz did to Teo. Good looking out with a $2 super chat.
That's exactly right.
Caesar said, for the $5 super chat, good looking out, my brother. He said, Punch, I bet you if Teo was Coach Ant's fighter, he would say the opposite.
Of course I would, but you know why? Because I'm gonna bet on my team and my fighters every single time, even if we have a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? So of course I would. What kind of ridiculous statement is that? Of course I would. And Teo, listen, Punch, Teo should have took your advice years ago. He should have came with me, man. He would have. I
still want Teo to be with Coach Anthony. I still want. Of course, I would love. Much respect to Teofimo Lopez Sr. But if he does have coaches out there and stuff like that, I would. I always felt that your style, and I know you have a wide range of style, but you know what I'm saying. What your style, I think y'all will mesh real good. You know what I'm saying? I truly think y'all will mesh real good. Always felt like that.
Now, what's crazy is a guy, listen, a fight's a fight at the end of the day. So, like, I can say whatever I want. Eddie can say whatever he wants. At the end of the day, those two guys got to fight it out, and I could be wrong. Listen, I picked Terrence Crawford. He picked Canelo. Right? So we don't always be on the same page. Like, at the end of the day, they got to fight it out. You know what I'm trying to say? I thought Erickson Lubin was going to do way better against Virgil Ortiz. I mean, that was a one-sided whitewash. Like, if you would have been like, yo, Ant, I thought you said that was going to be competitive. That shit wasn't even a little bit competitive.
That wasn't even a fight.
So I'm not always right. Eddie's not always right. You're not always right. At the end of the day, those guys got to fight it out. And I know Teo's a very prideful champion, and he's going to bring everything he could bring. And like I said, he's a phenomenal fighter. I just think that Shakur is that much better.
Hey, yo, you going to the press conference?
Where is it?
This Wednesday.
Shit, I don't think so, man. I'm gonna be here, bro.
Come on now. Come on now. You better tell T.O. what you said today.
I'm definitely not going.
And the Solano with the $5 super chat said, yo, T.O. just has bad timing with great wins. When he takes too long of a break, do you think that T.O. be able to cut off the ring when Shakur starts running?
Yo, why does see what I mean? Y'all just want knockouts, man. Look, it's called.
No, it's not even knockouts, to be honest, because he started running and Edo de los Santos ain't do shit.
What running is? Turning around and doing this. That's running, okay?
Hey, yo,
moving
come
around and not getting hit and turning. That's called lateral movement. We have to be more educated, especially if you guys are Punch Drunk Boxing subscribers. You need to be educated to know that is called lateral movement.
Do you believe, okay, guys, do you believe in the myth? I know, like, I truly don't believe in the myth. When I score bouts, I say, yo, you know, the myth of this is the championship rounds. No, the judges is going to score 12 like they do the first round. But in terms of myth of you got to take it to the champion, you got to take it from the champion to be the champion, right? The same thing, you know, remember Oscar de la Hoya and Tito Trinidad, right? Oh, you know what I'm saying? He took it to the he took it from the champion. He had to take it from the champion and stuff like that. Does Shakur Stevenson needs to take it from Teofimo Lopez? He just need a win.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think
he does need to do what Andre Ward did to Kovalev.
I think that
it's just not enough. You got to take it to the champion. You got to take it from him.
No, I don't think that should be a thing. I think that that's wrong. Yeah, if you win the fight, bro. Like, let's just be honest. Like, yeah, you could say that and all that, but that's what ruins boxing. Robberies ruin boxing. You know, guys putting their life on the line, winning the honest way, and then you're gonna say, "Oh, well, you weren't the champion." Like, yeah, but I should be the champion. So, yeah, I think that's horrible, man. I think that mentality should go out the window, even though I don't think it's a real thing. It can be. I mean, it's not even the champion. It's who's the bigger seller nowadays, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think that's fair because then you take away the opportunity of a new guy being that guy. You know what I mean?
Well, I think even though that I don't believe too much of that narrative because I know how to score bouts, but if you really think about the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford, look at the scorecards. If Terence Bud Crawford if he would have fought the same way he did in the first half of the fight, he never was going to beat Canelo Alvarez on the scorecards. If you look at the scorecards, Bud Crawford had to win that 11 and 12 round. He needed to take it from Canelo Alvarez. If he would have just moved around and did the same thing he was doing in the first half of the fight, he was not going to win that fight. He had to take it from Canelo Alvarez in that 11 and 12 round. So at the end of the day, I don't know if it's a myth. I don't know if it's a different judges. I don't know if there's different promoters or stuff like that. But Bud Crawford, whether people like it or not, there's people that had it 117, 113 in their scorecards. But I'm talking about the judges. If Bud did not take it from Canelo in those exchanges in the 11 and 12 round, he was going to lose that fight in the scorecards. So Bud Crawford had to switch it up and adjust and actually go toe-to-toe in those positions that they did have in those last two rounds and in the 9th round to take it from Canelo Alvarez.
No, that's true, man. And honestly, man, I think that's
no, he's talking about Crawford.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I think that's unfortunate that it should have been like that because we all know that Crawford was clearly winning that fight. So I think that's horrible, and that's what's wrong with boxing.
But I believe that's a good thing in the end of the day because I think that we all seen that Bud Crawford did take it from him. Like, there had to be a separation.
No, I don't think that's right, though, because if he would have won, why are we giving it to Canelo? Just because he didn't?
No, I'm not saying giving it to Canelo, but in that fight, there had to be that separation, and Bud Crawford showed in that championship round there was a separation.
Yeah, but the thing was,
he did take it from Canelo.
I think that there should be a separation if the fight is close, right? Like, if the fight's close, then we should have to separate. But if you're winning the fight, it shouldn't be oh, we got to go down. Like, Canelo was winning rounds. He shouldn't have been winning that fight. And we all know that. When I seen the scorecard, I was like, what? Like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, so Yeah, if we're talking about a tooth and nail fight, then maybe we can go ahead and go with that narrative. But that shit wasn't tooth and nail. Crawford was clearly winning.
But look at that. It's two different type of fights, because I remember when we spoke about the Madrimov fight, like even in the Madrimov fight, if you look at the scorecards, Bud Crawford turned it up in the 11th and 12th. You saw that Bud Crawford had
some more competitive fight.
And guess what? The scorecards 115, 113, 116, 112. Bud Crawford had to turn it up. If he would have stood in that pace, he probably would have lost, or it would have been a draw versus Madrimov. So it's not even about just Canelo. Is that we seen even in Bud Crawford's fight that you have to take it. You have to turn it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if the fight's close, if it's competitive, then yeah, somebody's got to show that they want it more. I agree there, but it shouldn't be based off of who's the champion or who's not the champion. It should be based on how the fight is going.
No, I agree. That's why I said it's the myth, and I think that the myth sometimes is not a myth. It actually is what it is.
Yeah, like if let's just say Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez go into the 10th round and the fight is even.
Who got that dog? Who got that dog? Tell me, Eddie. Tell me, Coach. Who got that dog?
Yeah, we're gonna see who bites down on their mouthpiece a little bit more. Kind of like with the Abdullah Mason fight that just happened. Even though Abdullah was winning more rounds, come that 10th round, he bit down on his mouthpiece and he really won that fight. Like he really, even though he clearly won, he showed that he wanted to become a champion that night.
So I want to ask y'all, so what y'all seen and what y'all witnessed from both fighters? Come that is close. Shakur, Tio, we going to the 11th round. It's a close fight. Who got that dog? Who you putting your money up that's going to win those last 2 rounds? Who got that dog?
I got Shakur still.
Come on. You're not giving this. Come on, you're not giving it, Coach. Stop lying on me, Coach. Hey, yo, Eddie, come on. You telling me that Shakur got more dog than Tio?
If Shakur is in a fight and it's that close and they're going into the 11th round, he's already showed me that he's got that dog, because that's a tough fight leading up to that particular round.
Man, right? So now, so he got more skills and more dog than Tio? He got more skills and more dog than Tio now?
Nah, I'm not saying he got more dog than Tio. I just think that they both got equal dog, and the guy with the more skills is gonna win.
I agree.
If you got equal, if me and you are, hold on.
I'm sorry. Say it again, because it got like.
We both got equal amount of dog in us. The guy with the better skills is gonna win. Like, I believe that they both are equally tough. I think that they're both willing to do whatever they have to do to win. However, I just think that one guy's a little bit better than the other guy. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, let's go.
But Tio showed John, Loma, and Taylor, like he showed the dog. He's still, and you, come on. Hey, yo, when the tough gets going with Shakur Stevenson, he run. Come on, guys.
He didn't run his last fight.
See, this is the thing. He won. Even when that's the point. He figured out how to win. The dog, I get what you're saying, but it's also, the dog is also figuring out how to win. That is more important than, yo, I'm gonna show dog. Yeah, you're gonna get in there and keep getting touched up for the last 2 rounds. Then I'm gonna be swinging and I'm gonna try to go get it, and you're just gonna get touched more.
So that's why Tito Trinidad beat Oscar De La Hoya.
Well, Oscar truthfully wasn't really punching much, and he was tired. Trinidad put his hands on him.
Shakur runs around the ring and doesn't throw punches. We're not scoring those rounds for Shakur.
He's not winning those rounds.
Ain't nobody.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to that championship rounds, it's time that dog.
Well,
I know. See, the thing is, I know that Tio got dog. I seen it.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I hear it, but it's still strategic. You can have all the dog you want and run into multiple shots and lose the round. Still. You understand what I'm saying? Even if
trust me, I understand. I love this debate. I love this conversation because the beauty about boxing is that there's so many fights that it could be. I give it to you like this one: Keith Thurman versus Porter. In that last championship rounds, it was tooth and nail. In the 10th round, it was like still, but Keith Thurman showed an effective dog. He said, "Nah, let me adjust." And while Porter was still aggressive, but Keith Thurman was landing the more effective shots on the back foot, and he won that close fight. So you don't have to go be a dog and try to, you know what? All right, man, this guy is way too aggressive. Let me counter him on the outside. So I could see that point as well. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be like Tito Trinidad that's trying to go at him and be a dog and win the fight. I could still see a strategic, like a Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter on the back foot and still be effective and win that dog fight.
Right. I mean, it all works. It just depends upon the situation. It's situational. You know what I mean? There's certain fighters that have to go do that because they have no other way of winning. You understand what I'm saying? Then that's important. Yes, you need to be able to do that. But sometimes, you know, that back foot, you outbox their ass. That's just as much dog. It's just a little more brains too.
Let me get on, man. Said if y'all want to bet on Tio, don't just send Punch that super chat instead. Hey, yo,
listen,
hey,
we're in the sport of hit and don't be hit, right?
I like that's why I said hit and not get. That's Tio. Hit and not get hit. And Shakur is I ain't trying to get hit.
That's Shakur. He's gonna hit you, and he
no. Shakur is I ain't trying to get hit. Tio is hit and not get hit.
Yeah, he's cold, bro.
Come on, man. Come on. You know it. Stop it, man. Come on, guys.
Hold on. Is Shakur going up in weight for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
But even like I said in the beginning, Tio is a small 140. He's the smallest 140. He's not bigger than Gary Antoine. He's not bigger than Subriel Matias. He's not bigger than Richardson Hitchens. He's not bigger than none of these guys. He's really a small 140. And Shakur Stevenson he's taller than him. They always fought in the amateurs. Shakur's always been one weight below him, but I don't think there's really differences in size. In my opinion, just experience in the. But it's 8-ounce gloves, so I think that is just the same.
I think a lot of people are gonna start to realize real soon that Shakur is one of those guys that are just gonna be extremely beat. He might not lose, bro.
I say this. I
might retire undefeated like Floyd Mayweather and Andre Ward. He might, bro.
I did say and I said it to Tio and I said it to Shakur Stevenson that when the smoke clears, it's gonna be Shakur versus Tio. I always felt like that. I felt for Tio, of course, with athleticism and where Gervonta Tank Davis was at, that was the legacy fight that's gonna make him a international superstar. But when the smoke clears, it was gonna be Tio versus Shakur. I got Shakur beating Tank. I had Tio beating everybody else. I think that, in my opinion, Shakur beats everybody but Tio. That's the respect that I have for Shakur Stevenson. Now, you know, just because I follow them in the amateurs, I always has high regard for.
How do you got Tio winning? Decision or stoppage?
No, 115, 113. 115. I always saw that as to be honest, of this generation, I always saw that as that fight.
I'll get on a call the next day publicly, and I'm gonna give you your flowers. I'm gonna remember that 115, 113. You're getting your flowers immediately.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. I'm not gonna wait a week.
But I gotta give you your flowers because Coach Anthony, before, like I said in the beginning, before there was even a realistic Bud versus Canelo, he said it for years that Bud would be Canelo. You said it for years, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You crazy?
That's crazy.
It's just a style.
He said it years ago. Before it was he said it before Earl Spence fight.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because remember the conversation. Remember there was the echo of Spence versus Canelo. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Coach Ant said Bud would be. I got Bud being Canelo. I said, what the fuck are you crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wrong. Damn sure it wasn't wrong.
I just try to. I mean, when I like certain fighters, I pay attention to everything. Like, I'm actually one of the worst guys to ask about modern day fights nowadays. I don't watch a lot of guys anymore. But the ones that I do pay attention to, I mean, I pay attention to all the intangibles. Boxing isn't just skills. We have to pay attention to every intangible. You know what I'm saying? And I just think certain fighters, guys like Crawford, guys like Shakur, guys like Floyd Mayweather, guys like Andre Ward, you know, these guys are just cut from a different cloth. No disrespect to all the other great fighters, but these guys just don't like to lose. They're extremely, extremely competitive fighters. And guys like that. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard lost. He lost. I'm talking about guys that just don't like to lose. Like, these are the type of guys that they'll debate you till the sun comes up. Those type of fighters, bro, they're very hard to beat.
True.
I got T on this one, bro. But it's a great fight. I to be honest, I said in this generation, I'm not talking about Bud and the Canelo. I'm talking about this generation, you know what I'm saying, the T.O.s, the Haneys, the Shakurs, the Virgils, I don't think there is no win better than this one. If Shakur beats T.O. at the highest level where T.O. is at, and T.O. beating Shakur, I don't think there is no bigger win than that.
No cutoff. If Shakur beats T.O., he's not going to get the same flowers that T.O. is going to get if he beats Shakur. Let's be clear on that.
Why you say that?
If Shakur beats T.O.,
because he already lost.
If Shakur beats T.O., people are going to give him his flowers. They're going to say, wow, that was impressive. But let's see that against Tank. Let's see that against who else is in the divisions right now. I can't even think right now. It's going to be whoever else is out there. I can't even think right now. But it ain't going to be the same excitement as if T.O. beats Shakur. They're going to be like, we told you T.O.'s the GOAT. Like, it's going to be a different excitement.
But I think it will be like that because he's an underdog. He's a massive underdog. Yo, they don't even got to matter. They don't even have this as a close fight. So if he wins that, of course, as you as the underdog, you're gonna get major credit because you're the underdog.
But these guys usually ain't wrong. These guys, when they make these odds, they're usually not wrong. It's very small time. Like they're wrong here and there, but for the most part, these odds, they know what the fuck they talking about. There's a reason why he's a major underdog, bro. And you put a gun on their heads or something like that, Coach? They see what we seeing. These guys ain't usually wrong. Every so often they're wrong.
Well, guess what? They was wrong with T.O. versus Loma. They was wrong with T.O. versus Taylor, and they're gonna be wrong again with T.O. versus Shakur Stevenson. Three times as a charm. And if anybody has proven the world of boxing wrong in this generation has been Teofimo Lopez. No fighter has proven the boxing world wrong more than Teofimo Lopez. Am I right, Eddie Chambers? Come on, you're a fighter. Am I right? Who has proven the world of boxing wrong more?
If Shakur repped this Puerto Rican side a little bit more, would you be picking Shakur?
No, hey, I'll be fighting for Shakur to be Puerto Rican. Yo, I was just arguing with somebody on X. He's like, come on, man, he don't know how to speak no Spanish. I don't know, man. Nah, shit. Nah, Shakur.
Let's not make this a race.
I know he gets a lot of shit for race. For the record, I'm Puerto Rican, all right? Just so y'all know.
And that's why you picking Shakur Stevens.
Until I found out he wasn't. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I had no idea because he's from New York and shit. I'm like, oh, he Rican. He gotta be. Then I found out he not. I'm like, oh shit, all right.
So what do I think about this? Because this is also a thing, right? Oh, Shakur Stevenson is sparring with Terrence Bud Crawford. So he's highly prepared to beat T.O. because he got Crawford in the gym. What y'all feel about that? Because I don't believe in the myth. Because I've seen Terrence Bud Crawford with Amir Khan. He got his ass handed to him by Kell Brook. We've seen Terrence Bud Crawford in the training camp with Maurice Hooker, and Virgil Ortiz beat the crap out of Maurice Hooker. So what do y'all feel about they got Bud is in camp with Shakur, so he's definitely gonna beat T.O. because he got Bud.
I'll say one part. I'm going to say one part. To me, the reason why that's helpful for Shakur is because they've been doing this. This ain't nothing new. So Shakur's been looking up to Crawford. He's been looking up to Crawford. He's seen Crawford's accomplishments. He's seen what he just recently did. So it's more of an inspirational pull. It's more of an inspirational pull than the sparring. They've been working with each other for years. That's nothing new. It's more so like, big bro did that, watch what I do. So I think that inspirational pool will be the only advantage in the situation. Now, do I think that that's what's going to make the stylistic thing in the fight because he got the work? Like, no, I don't. But I do think the inspirational pool helps.
I agree with you because, you know, Shakur still ran versus so I agree with you. he still did run, and he did come out with Andre Ward and Bud Crawford and Floyd Mayweather on that fight with Edgar de los Santos, and he still ran. So I know he ain't feel motivated by hey yo, ever since he ran from Edgar de los Santos, Floyd Mayweather, they never went back to Shakur Stevenson fight. I ain't gonna come out with you no more. I ain't gonna come out with you no more, man.
What's crazy though is he won that fight, and that fight really makes me lean toward him with most of these guys. That fight, and I know it's like, bro, like wow, that arguably is like a bad, well, no, not arguably, it's a bad performance. Most people hate that fight, but that shows me that he could be under the gun with a dude that's just nasty with the power and explosiveness. And he said, I can go to prevent defense. Go 1, 2, 3 punches here and win this round and make it. And win. Okay. I don't think Teo can do it like that.
I'm a believer. I'm gonna make it. Okay. Right. All right. I'm wishing on a star. To find where you are. I get it. I get it. I'm a dreamer. I understand you. I understand. We living in the world of perception. You know what I'm saying? Perception is the new reality. You know what I'm saying? Because we already seen Teofimo Lopez's greatness. We seen him, but Shakur, we haven't seen him there. But I think he could do it. I believe he can do it. I really do. That's what it is. That's what it is. I get it. Trust me. I get it. That's the American boxing fans. We like the perception more than the guys that did it, right? It's like how much more people
let me ask you a question. You got a guy who's been working. All right, I got a guy who's been doing what we do. We go on YouTube and we do these live streams. I got a YouTube channel. Then you got a guy who was like fucking in Harvard and had the best media team getting him prepared, and he has all, and he's getting ready to launch his YouTube channel, and he starts bubbling. Like, you got a guy with all of this. He got the best cameras, the best team, the best everything, and he's starting to come up, slowly creeping up. You seeing him coming. It's not perception. It's only a matter of time till that guy's channel blows the fuck up. Like, this guy has put in more work on the back end that you haven't got a chance to see on the big scale yet. You know what I'm trying to say? That was good. Analogy, right? Like we're not talking about Shakur Stevenson, like a guy who just came out of nowhere. We know who this motherfucker is, bro. We know who he is. He's the real deal. Like, he's not like he has a few fights that he didn't, go toe to toe. But we talking about Shakur Stevenson, bro.
Nah. See, coach, you understand Teo more than Shakur, because see, Coach Anthony is a guy that has helped fighters become world champions, right? And he still don't get his just due. He don't get the respect that he deserves. You feel me? I can make you a world champion. I can make you a world champion.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Who did you pick to win the Raymond Ford Odebek fight?
The which one?
Raymond Ford versus Odebek, when I was in the world title fight. The one that I worked with Raymond to get him ready for the world title fight. The one that we won.
I picked Raymond.
Okay. And you was giving me my flowers the whole time before the fight.
Yep.
Why? Because you know me.
Because your pedigree, though.
No. You know me. You know what I can do. So
exactly.
You're waiting for me to get my opportunity. You're like, if this guy gets his fucking opportunity, I know he's going to shine.
Wait.
I got my opportunity and we shine right now. You know that. It's the same thing with us looking at Shakur.
No. Wait. No. But let me add also, not only because I know what you're capable of doing, It's because we seen Raymond Ford do before you was the head trainer. Before that, he was getting booed. It was boring. He played it safe. When you got with Raymond Ford, you gave him that confident knockout artist, believe in your power, believe in standing in front of you, believe in that, and then he knocked the dude out, and then he got his world champion. You changed his mentality to a whole different type of fighter. You're not only the slick boxer, he became that slick boxer and that puncher and the knockout artist, and that was a surprise. Yo, if you was not in the corner, he was not going to win that championship round. Yeah. If it was somebody, he was not going to win that championship round. You understand? So it's just not it's just not what you bring to the table, right? And before the Raymond Ford, but it's how you changed it. You proved it. You proved it. Your science proved it, that if he follow your science, he's going. He followed the instructions and he capitalized from it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. You showed and proved, not only because of the respect, but you showed it and proved it.
Thank you for all the kind words, but I think that Shakur has also been showing and proven. He just maybe hasn't gotten the big names under his belt that Teo got. I think that once he does win against Teo, he's going to get some more credit, not the credit that we think he should deserve, but he's going to get more, and he's going to have to do it again and again and again. And I just think that he's going to be one of those guys that the odds are going to be stacked against him as well. Just like how you said Teo's got all the odds stacked against him and he don't get his just due. I don't think Shakur's going to get his just due until damn near the end of his career, truthfully.
Yeah, that sounds like.
But you know what? I think that's what drives Teo, is that the narrative is about Teo is that he fights at the level of his competition. He performs to the level of his competition. So what is Shakur Stevenson? What level is Shakur Stevenson? And if people believe in the narrative of Teofimo Lopez performing to the level of his competition, which Teofimo Lopez is going to show up? What are we used to?
Well, hold on. Say that one more time. I lost
the narrative is that Teofimo Lopez performs to the level of his competition. That's the narrative. Oh, Teo, come on. But when the lights are bright and he's fighting this pound for pound elite fighter, Teofimo Lopez shows up.
I'll tell you what, if Teofimo
is he showing up?
If he does show up and he does perform as, and he wins, flowers to Teo. Great. This is dope. This is fantastic for boxing because now it shakes up the sport and makes people start to talk and makes for more exciting fights. I'm all for it. There's nothing about me that's like biased toward Teo winning this fight. I'm just giving my opinion of who I think is going to win. But if he wins and he does what you say, that's what's up, man. I hope he does. For him, and I hope that he continues because truthfully, I like Teofimo Lopez. I think he's a good fighter. I just think that this matchup isn't the fight he's going to win, but if he wins it, great.
I think that this is the best fighting the best, and traditionally when it's really the best fighting the best, we get to see a Bivol and Beterbiev. Oh shit, there's a lot of people that still believe that Beterbiev won the second fight. There's people that believe that Bivol won the first fight. You think Teofimo could beat Boots too? Didn't you say that? I'm just curious. I'm not trying to change the subject. Yeah, I think he has a chance.
So this that's what I'm saying. Like we're going crazy with this Teo thing a little bit.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just it's not about the Teo. If you tell me, all right, analyze Teo without the Lomachenko and the Josh Taylor, then I'll be singing the same tune. Look at my channel. I'm the first one in YouTube that should be talking about Boots Ennis. I've been talking about Boots Ennis for 6 years. I said that Boots Ennis is the second coming of Roy Jones Jr.
What makes you think that he could beat a guy like Boots who's like 5'11", strong as hell, could box with both, can switch?
Because at this time, I gotta go already with what I've seen already. Boots Ennis is 29, going to be 29 years old. He started his professional level before Teofimo Lopez. I just can't just jump people over. And while this guy is proving himself at the highest level, just because you look better versus guys that's not even B level. Oh, you haven't even proven in the amateurs. Gary Antoine Russell was whooping your ass in the amateurs. So how can I just, because you look better? There's a certain point where I just can't go with the eye test. I just can't go with that. You look better, so I'm rolling with you. You know what I'm saying? Give me an opponent that is an ex-world champion at least. Give me a gatekeeper, Boots.
Didn't he beat that guy?
He beat
Who?
Yeah, Stanionis, bro.
Stanionis was elevated.
I remember everybody was making a big deal about Stanionis. Then it wasn't. I was not.
No, come on. Stanionis was elevated. The best win. Put it this way, and the best win of Stanionis was over the hill Luis Collazo.
Well, look, I agree with you. Yeah, I don't want to change what this topic's about. It's about Shakur, but I just touch on the Boots thing. I think that I don't think that's even a fair matchup. I think that's a dangerous matchup for Teofimo Lopez. But I think we're a little more biased because we've actually seen some of your biggest names come to the gym and get carried out. You know what I'm saying?
No,
with 16 ounces on, and some of them being heavyweights. And so since we know this, we have a different viewpoint on this side of town, the Philadelphia side. We know what Boots really.
I'm not saying that Boots can't beat Teo. I'm siding with it, but I'm just, come on, man. Look, in YouTube, in this community, I was the only one talking about Boots. Nobody even knew who Boots was. I was doing Boots' first interviews, and what his team was like, yo, thank you for giving these interviews because when he gets big, this is going to be good for him and stuff like that. I believed in Boots since day one. I'm just saying where we're at right now is a different me analyzing Boots at 22, 21 years old and analyzing at 28 and see what his other contemporary has done. You know what I'm saying? Right now is a point where Boots at this point, like he got to pass this eye test. He need to pass that stage.
On paper, he's an underachiever on paper. I agree with you there. But he's not. But he is that.
But skillful, of course, yeah. But skillfully, man, he got everything. He got.
He's another guy that falls into Shakur Stevenson category where we're talking about how great he is, but we're just waiting for the right guy to stand in front of him. So I just think that Shakur's in a similar situation. He just doesn't have the explosive punch of power that Boots has, but he has the skill set. I think Boots is the same thing, man. You put Boots in there with any of your favorite fighters right now, and people are gonna be like, "Damn, this guy is the real deal."
But put it this way, even Shakur Stevenson is way more accomplished than Boots.
Truth.
You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, that's how Boots was moved business-wise. But it has nothing to do with his skill set or how good of a fighter he is.
Look, I used to think the same way about Gary Antoine when he lost to Puello. I was shocked. I was shocked. Even my Dominican people was like, yo, you don't support your Dominican pro. I said, man.
But
I was shocked.
But Gary Antoine, as good as he is, he doesn't have all the intangibles of a great fighter. Like, no disrespect to him. He's sloppy. He's he's like a Sean Porter type where it's like it's different with a guy like him those styles are beatable by quality boxers where when we're looking at like a Boots and a Shakur, guys who really understand how to box, it's a different thing. Like Gary Russell knows how to fuck you up if you fight his fight. Where these guys, they really know how to box, bro. It's a different level of skill set. No disrespect to Gary, because I know he can fight his ass off. But fighting your ass off and being a high-level chess player is a different game.
So, Boots versus Virgil. Who y'all got?
I'm rolling with Boots, man. I think that he has just the edge. But this is what I will say. I haven't seen that chin get hit by a big puncher yet. And Virgil is that guy. So if he can handle the punches, because he will get hit against Virgil Ortiz. If he can handle the punches, I got Boots. But if Virgil hurts him, hey, what can I say about that? You know what I'm saying?
You see how Eddie felt about how you feel about the Edo de los Santos and Shakur Stevenson, where he got heavily criticized, but you're highly impressive how he got the victory, how he adjusted and still got the victory. When everybody was criticizing Jerome Boots Ennis with the Karen fight, I gave him massive credit because Karen showed two different type of fighters in the first fight and the second fight. Right. Way different what he performed in the first fight. And Boots still adjusted to him and still beat him in wide scorecards, meaning that Boots and his IQ, he could beat you in whatever way you bring you come with. If you want to move around, you want to be in the back foot, he still won 118, 110. It was still a wide scorecard. You want to bring the fight to in the second fight to Jerome Boots Ennis, he's still going to outbox you and do what he has to do. And while everybody was criticizing him with the Karen fight, I give him massive credit and say, yo, you got to look at the IQ. Also, he did get hit with some right hands in certain fights. Yet, he didn't get wobbled. He took them shots. And if we're going to credit guys like Danny Swift Garcia, Canelo Alvarez for having a strong chin, Boots Ennis got a strong chin, in my opinion. Yeah, he get hit, but he could take them hits. I haven't seen him wobble. I haven't seen him floored or nothing like that. So I think there is also misconception about Boots Ennis that I don't agree with.
From what we've seen so far, yeah, he's been able to take them. The thing I don't like about Boots is, and maybe it was the competition level, maybe when he gets a real threat in front of him, he's a lot more careful. But some of it, and I know it's everybody gonna say he's singing that same old goddamn song, but his defensive responsibility, sometimes I think he's a little bit too lenient on his offense, a little bit too heavy-footed on offense, and not respecting what's coming back enough. And maybe that's because of how tough he is.
But that's what I said earlier about Teo. See, guys like Teo, Boots, Tank, you know, they have God-given ability, this speed and power that you just can't just teach in the gym. It's just God-given ability that because your twitch muscle and your speed and power and stuff like on the defensive and offensive end, you take risk that other fighters can't take. And some, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. No, I was rude to me. Go ahead, finish your sentence.
No, because I said it before. I think that if Boots want to be like, all right, man, fuck this, showboating shit, showboating. I'm gonna be technically sound, my eye on the tiger, but you know what I'm saying? I think he'll be great. Just like when Teo, we seen it with Lomachenko. Just like when we saw Roy Jones Jr. versus James Toney. I ain't gonna be playing around with you. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one time. But this whole fight, you saw Roy Jones Jr. was defensively sound and was very, very sharp. I'm not playing with James Toney, even though I got all the athleticism and stuff like that. So I think that, yeah, Boots Ennis does get hit, but it's not because he wants to get. It's because he has his hand down. He's showing his fight. He also want to be a showman. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think if Boots Ennis said, you know what, I'm just gonna outbox you. I'm really gonna be fundamentally sound. He's gonna stay sharp and he's not gonna get hit the way he's been getting hit.
Absolutely. And he gets a lot of backlash for how many fights he got and how few names he has. But let's not forget, he was signed with, I think, Cameron Duncan. I think he was signed with Cameron Duncan when he first started. I know he passed away, but he was getting Boots like 10 fights a year, bro. So he was getting him easy fights to build his record. So he racked up all these fights. You know what I'm saying? There were really no-name fighters, and we all know that. And so he never got a chance to really fight these bigger names. And now that he's with Matchroom, they're matching him appropriately to make sure he's prepared for the bigger fight. But people are getting impatient because they're looking at the big number of fights that he's already had, but they're not realizing, like, you know, he was moved by a different promoter that just was giving him all these fights. And now when he gets in the hands of Eddie Hearns, he's what, 30 something and no, with like, so but who he beat? Yeah, but all right, so let him go ahead and fight a couple of other fights, and let's make sure that he's prepared for Virgil Ortiz or one of these type of guys, even though we believe he is now. You know, they're just trying to make sure that they're protecting their investment, but that's part of the issue. I think in 1 year, he was like 12-0, bro.
I just hope that Matchroom doesn't.
20-0 in 2 years. That's a lot of fights.
I just hope that his career doesn't end up like my boy's career, Demetrius Andre. That he's just too good. That even if you're in position, you in a division. To be honest, he's in a division that nobody still has to fight him. Like Virgil, yeah, we want to see Virgil, we want to see Sander, we want to see Fundura, but in all actuality, it's so stacked up that I really don't have to fight Boots. Just like Triple G,
hopefully not.
I don't really gotta fight Demetrius Andre. Canelo, I don't gotta fight Demetrius Andre. Is it gonna be like that?
Shout out to Demetrius Andre. I know him. I met him a few times. Great fighter. But I just don't think that he has what Boots currently has, which is the boxing community behind him, shouting, pushing him. Like Andrade was a little bit more like in his own little shell. Like if you didn't talk up, you forgot he was there, even as good as he was. Where Boots is like everybody's talking about Boots. Like Boots is like, you know what I mean? So I think Boots sells better than Andrade did.
Or it was that because Canelo Alvarez have a large fan base, have a good grip on the support of the fan base, that they seen Canelo Alvarez with a style like Mayweather, and then seen him with a guy like Lara, and they like, nah, we really don't want him with Andre, so we're gonna build this narrative that Andre hasn't done nothing for Canelo Alvarez to avoid him.
But why? I don't know why Andrade got messed up with his career. I know his whole shit got messed up with the deals and all that. But
no, but that's what I'm saying is the same thing with Boots. Boots early in his career, remember he had to sue his promotional company, Andre, and then he got with Rock Nation and stuff like that. That wasn't cool with the PBC or whatever. And then he got with Matchroom with Eddie Hearn. He got in position to get the Canelo Alvarez fight and the Triple G fight, but these guys didn't want to fight him because they didn't have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they don't have to fight Boots, but at least Boots, what gives Boots the advantage is that he's more marketable than Andrade, and I just think that that's what will be the push to make the fight happen, even if they don't want to fight him, because I think it would sell. I think that Boots is eventually going to be a house, like a name that people are going to be like, we got to see this guy because he'll knock you the fuck out, he'll box you, he'll make you miss, he'll do. Like, I haven't seen a talent like Boots, really. I don't know, ever. And I don't want to sound so super excited about a guy who hasn't fought a top name yet, but a guy who could box, who could punch, who could go in the pocket, who could be flashy, who could, like, not even Roy Jones was doing all of those things. Like, Roy Jones is super flashy and all that, but Boots can get in the paint with you. He can get gritty with you, and he can box your ass off, and he could do a spin move on you, and he could fight southpaw. Like, this guy is something like we ain't seen, bro. Like, this guy is a special fucking
But he's
fighter.
not ahead of his
He's a special fighter, bro. And I'm telling you, the boxing world needs to keep talking about him because we want to see him fight the best.
Well, Roy, he was an extreme amateur, an Olympian, and he was just ahead of his time. Like when he already beat Hopkins and James Toney, people were saying that he ain't fighting nobodies.
Oh yeah, Roy. I mean, Roy's the man. I'm not trying to say Boots is better than Roy, but what I'm just saying is a complete fighter. Roy was more of a pot shot type of a guy who could box you and make you look silly. Where I feel like Boots can get in the paint with you, and I feel like Roy didn't really like that. Roy would go to the ropes, lay on the ropes, and he would avoid exchanging with you. Where I think Boots will exchange with you. So, and that's what makes him, I think, probably one of the most exciting fighters right now. He needs to get pushed. You know what I mean?
So y'all got Boots versus Virgil. All right. Okay. Y'all got Shakur versus Teo. Okay.
Eddie here, man. But
it was good being on here.
Thank you, Eddie, man. Thank you, Chambers. Thank you, man.
Huh?
I said thank you for your insight, man.
No problem, man. I appreciate you having me on. This was nice.
But I know that in your heart you got Teo and Shakur. I understand. I know in your heart you got Teo. But
hey, listen, you ride with your boy. Ain't nothing.
I'll tell you what, Teo needs to put you on the payroll. Teofimo Lopez, you need to be cutting Punch Drunk Boxing a weekly check just for the love and support this man has given you for the last freaking decade. Because every time we get on here, we're talking about you one shape or the other. So put that man on the payroll, man. Put him on the
He deserves it.
Yeah, facts.
I'm good. I'm just breaking it. I'm just breaking it down on bossy, logically, and objectively, man.
Appreciate y'all, man. Straight up, man. Thanks,
you, bro.
Get out, man. I'm gonna let Vaughn take my seat. Jump in, Vaughn. Go ahead.
So I think within the debate, I think that I think I made my argument that Teo is gonna beat Shakur Stevenson.
Say that again.
I think within the discussion and the debate and the dialogue, I think that Shakur that Teofimo Lopez. I think we all agree that Teofimo Lopez is gonna beat Shakur Stevenson. I think you're in agreement. I think you're in agreement.
What do you think going?
I'm more leaning towards Shakur, but Teo going too.
Okay, he's trying to stay good on
Say it again. Say it again.
You're gonna mess up my first time on Punch Drunk Boxing.
Say it again. What he said.
I think Shakur, but Teo could win too. It'll be a close fight. It'll be a good fight overall.
Come on, pick one. Pick one. Pick one.
He don't want to piss off his coaches, and he don't want to piss you off, man. You got to read between the lines, Punch. You got to read between the lines.
Come on, pick one, man.
Yeah, pick one.
You know what I think, though? Hold on. Before you know what I think, though? And I said this yesterday. I think that picking Shakur, people that's picking Shakur, is almost like they're picking the safer pick, the safe bet. Because the narrative is also that Shakur Stevenson has been consistently that he showed the less, the less weakness, had less trouble throughout his career. It's safe to pick Shakur. You know, I know what to expect from Shakur. I'm not saying that he's the greatest, but I know what to expect. But what Teo is, shit, I don't know which Teofimo Lopez is going to show up. So I'm just going to pick the safe bet. And let me bet on Shakur, because at least I know that he's going to do good boxing. But Teo is either up or either mediocre. So I'm picking a safe bet. Is that what it is? Y'all picking a safe? Y'all picking a safer bet?
That means, so if I want to play devil's advocate, wouldn't that mean we're going with the more reliable fighter?
In mediocre level, yeah.
I mean, if we're going with the more reliable guy, we gotta call.
Oh yeah, y'all going with the reliable guy in the mediocre level.
So that means the more reliable guy is the better guy to pick.
Yeah, in this level, in the look, in the level. Look at this one. Hey yo, look at this. In the.
You ain't picking Zab against Mayweather, even though he had a chance.
No. In the. If y'all look at Teo in the Jermaine Ortiz and the Sando and the Camboso, if y'all think that's the Teo that's gonna show up versus Shakur, then yeah, I'm gonna pick Shakur. But if it's the Teo that's fighting the Lomas and the Taylors and the Comeys and that Teo versus Shakur's best Cepeda, my brother, I'm picking Teo.
True.
Teo at his best versus Shakur at his best. I got Teo.
I think it's a good fight overall, but I think Shakur is just too technical. I think give Teo a lot of trouble. Now he's not gonna be there to get hit.
So how is it? All right, Coach, and I'm sorry. What's your name again? I'm sorry, my brother.
On Mr. TKO. We call him Mr. TKO. He's got 3 TKOs in his 2 TKOs in his first.
Man, if he's a TKO artist, he's rolling with Teo. Because he like power. If he's about the KO, he rolling with Teo then.
That's what I'm saying.
I know he ain't a Shakur guy.
I'm surprised what I'm hearing right now.
I just think because Teo's good too, but he does more unorthodox stuff. Shakur is just super technical.
Is he super technical or super safe? He's just playing it safe, and Teo just takes more risks.
He's gonna give Teo the opportunity to land some of those shots.
Look, I just hope that Shakur. Say this.
All my fighters are well schooled, man. They're all well schooled. They understand boxing.
No, I understand Coach Anthony. You know what I understand? I understand Coach Anthony. And like I said, we were talking about the Raymond Ford situation, is that Coach Anthony knew that Raymond Ford's style was not enough. It was not enough to get the victory. It was not enough to be a champion. That Coach Anthony has to instill in Raymond Ford that you got to go for it. In the end of the day, Coach Anthony knows that you just can't be boxing around and moving around and getting points because you're going to get robbed like he almost did in Texas. And Coach Anthony took over and he said, we got to have that Teofimo Lopez as an element. Let's go, Coach. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, listen, I think that, as a coach, my job is to bring out what I know a fighter could do. And I knew that Raymond Ford had that in him to go ahead and do that. And I also know that Raymond Ford, even though he's similar to a Shakur, he's not like a Shakur. Shakur is very okay with putting people to sleep in the crowds if that's what he has to do to win the fight. He's very okay with that. Where a guy like Raymond Ford, you hit him, he's going to get pissed off. He's going to want to hit you back. So when you know a guy like you got a guy like that, like a Raymond Ford, that is willing to go in the paint, I knew that he could do that. Now, if I didn't think that he could do that, trust me, we wouldn't have did that. But I knew from being in the gyms with him for, you know, the fights we've been together that he had that in him. But if I felt like he couldn't handle it, I'd have been like, bro, you better keep moving. But I knew he could do that. You know what I mean?
That's why, that's why I know deep down, coach, you understand what I'm saying. That's why I know, because coach, I seen you in action, bro. We seen you in the corner. You know that was not enough. It's another level.
That fight was too close. There was
what did you say to Raymond for? Come on, say it. Pony Malignaggi said what you said. Everybody in the world of boxing gave you credit. Everybody, if it wasn't for that coach, beautiful instruction, what did he have to do? So when I said earlier, like 20 minutes ago, when I asked y'all both, if it's going to the 10th round and it's very technical and it's still close, the dog has to come out of you. You're going to be in the corner. What you going to tell Shakur Stevenson to do? You're going to have to take it from that champion. Or we going to lose. You was telling Raymond Ford, take it. You're going to be robbed. You could get robbed.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him it's going to be based off what's been working for us all night. And that's what I'm going to tell him to continue to do or whatever. I'm not just going to say fight just to sound tough. I mean, it just depends on how the fight's going. So that's my job in the corner, to be paying attention to what's working for Shakur that night. And if going to the paint is what I feel like he has to do, and I feel like he could do it, then that's what I'm gonna ask for. But if that's not what I see working, I might say something else. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends, bro. Like it just depends on the fighter and how the fight's going, truthfully.
You remember when Bomac told Bud Crawford in the Sean Porter fight, yo, you losing. You losing. What? Yeah, you lose. You gotta go. Yo, let's go. And then Bud turned it up. I'm saying that's how much when I see a 115, 113, it's because I do see it as a highly technical fight. I do see it. I do see it's close. I know that Teo respects Shakur Stevenson to the fullest, and I know Shakur Stevenson respects Teofimo Lopez to the fullest. They known each other since they was 10, 11 years old. They know each other. They know they have so much respect to one another that if it does turn into a technical fight like that, like, okay, he take 1 round, 2 rounds, he comes Teofimo Lopez, he rallied up, but it's still like this. And then it goes to the championship rounds. Man, I'm going for that dog. And I know that Teofimo Lopez is that dog.
You think Teofimo Lopez has better concentration than Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah.
You think he has better concentration? He doesn't have
I'm not saying that Shakur doesn't. No. I say they both have good concentration, but I just know it at the highest level that Teo has it.
But I'm just saying, like, because we got to remember that's what it comes down to, too. It comes down to concentration. Can Teo concentrate in those tough 10, 11, 12 rounds? Like,
that's what I'm saying. He showed me.
He might be tough as nails, but can he concentrate? Because we have to remember, man, like, this is where everything matters, not just heart. Everything matters. Skills,
but that's what I'm
concentration, conditioning, durability. Like, I mean, all of these things come into play.
But no lie. That's what I'm saying. I seen it in the 12th round versus Lomachenko. I seen it in the championship round versus Josh Taylor. I even seen it versus George Kambosos when he put. Wait. I even seen it in his worst night that he knocked down George Kambosos in the championship round. I seen it at the championship rounds where Teo turns it up. Go check the numbers. He ups it up. When it gets the tough gets going, what Shakur showed me is that in the championship rounds, the crowd is going to walk in. He going to let his opponent rally up on him. He's gonna let Edgar de los Santos try to make it like fog up the matchup. He's going to run. Now, I'm not gonna say that he runs in every fight, but I'm saying when the tough gets going, he lets his opponent little rally up. He lets it in the championship rounds. He don't close out. He don't close out. He's not a closer.
Has he had any fights that were like 115, 113, or 114, 113?
Edgar de los Santos, the card was 116, 112, 115, 113. He almost lost that fight.
116
on the scorecard. Yeah, look. I'm not playing look.
115, 113, 116, 112. That's still, you still know who won that fight.
But what I'm saying is, regardless of how we feel, remember there's judges. We're not the licensed judges. So I'm just saying that he don't rally up.
But that was one performance, though. How many other performances has he had like that?
I'm not gonna. I mean, he didn't have enough performances like that, and he has a lot of wide scorecards in which he wins by landslide. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving a lot of credit to Shakur. I like Shakur Stevenson, but I'm saying, but I'm not. Are we gonna compare Teo versus pound for pound fighters, or what we saying that Shakur Stevenson best performance was Cepeda? Like, we're comparing Shakur versus a Cepeda and Oscar Valdez, his best wins.
True. I'll give you that.
And that's what I'm saying. So we all have predictions. We never know what's going to go. Like, think about it. Ain't nobody out here going to be like, back in the days, I picked Buster Douglas to be Mike Tyson and everybody going to be a genius. At the end of the day, we all going to have our predictions, and the logical ones are going to make the logical prediction, and they do their studies and film study. I see it as at 115, 113. I see it as a close fight. 115, 113. That's just one round.
You have to bet the house on it. You're betting on Teofimo.
Yeah. If I had to bet the house on it.
You have to bet the house. That's a risk. That's a big risk.
If I had to, I'm going to go with the guy that showed.
Like, if you told me take your feelings out of it,
I always felt like that. Now, if you not tell me, okay, now we walking into this fight where Shakur Stevenson have beaten Gervonta Tank Davis, and Shakur Stevenson have beaten a Devin Haney, and now we going into the Teofimo Lopez fight, and I seen that at that level. Now we talking different. It's not, I don't think that Shakur Stevenson is. I think Shakur Stevenson is fully equipped. But I think that Teo is fully equipped, and his tools has been tested at the highest level more than Shakur. I'm just going by what I've witnessed. When it comes to those two fighters in their prime and the momentum they got, because I believe that Shakur got momentum and Teo got momentum. It's not like Teo's coming from a bad performance or Shakur coming from a bad performance. They both coming from a good performance. They're young, they're accomplished, you know what I'm saying? And they're motivated. I can only predict. I'm predicting what I've seen, feel what they got in the toolbox, and what has come out in that toolbox at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I have it 115, 113, because I believe that Shakur Stevens is in that level, but I haven't witnessed it. I believe he does, but I know that Teofimo Lopez does. You feel me?
I got you. I can't be mad at you for what you're saying, because what you're saying is factual. I'm
not saying, Teo's going to beat Shakur Stevenson 117, 113. He going to knock him out in the third round like that. I'm not in that. I'm not that. But I think that even a 115, 113, 116, 112 is going to be a major statement. It's going to be a major statement. Yeah, it's just like when they used to say, well, Vasily Lomachenko, if Teofimo Lopez beat Vasily, he only got to punch his chance. And when I heard that, I'm like, yo, y'all ain't see him in the amateurs? Like, what? Like, y'all think he's just a knockout? Teofimo Lopez was never a knockout artist. He was never a knockout artist. Just because he was knocking out people early in his career in the 135-pound division, he was really not you know that. He's not this.
Lomachenko, he looked much stronger. He looked bigger. Lomachenko looked very gun shy. So to me, that's just going to be that was just a different fight, man. I don't think that was the best Loma we looked at.
But you know why? Because Loma, throughout his career, Loma throughout his career, even in his amateur, always been the most athletic fighter in the ring. But then he met a guy that was more athletic than him. That when he pivot, he's simultaneously pivoting with him. Go check that second round. Like, Lomachenko couldn't find the angle with Teo like he found the angle with everybody else.
With those hooks too, he was cutting them off with the hook. He was cutting them off with the overhand. Like, he was Lomachenko, I mean, he kept his distance. He had a good distance against him. I thought he fought a very smart fight against Lomachenko.
Yeah.
You know, he clearly won that fight.
And look, even in that fight, look, I thought that Loma beat Haney, right? But even in that fight, I saw the elevation of Devin Haney, because everybody knew that Devin Haney, his jab was his primary weapon, right? Throughout his career, his jab, people were saying that he had one of the best jabs in the sport of boxing. Lomachenko took away the jab, but then Devin Haney still adjusted and found his way to hit him with body shots. And that's something we didn't see from Devin Haney. So we seen that, oh shit, you could take his best weapon. He has something else. You know what I'm saying? And that experience propelled them to go to beat the likes of Brian Noma Jr. I think I always knew that Devin Haney would be Brian Noma Jr. But because of those experience, how can I do without my jab? And if you look at the Brian Noma Jr. fight with Devin Haney, he didn't beat Brian Noma Jr. with a jab. He beat him with the lead left, with a lead left hook. He didn't use that jab. He didn't use, because he learned that, oh, I gotta have something. I gotta put something in my toolbox that if they take my ultimate weapon, I still got something left. What you think is Shakur Stevenson's best weapon, and does Teofimo Lopez is capable of taking that away from him, and vice versa? What you think, as a coach?
I think his best weapon is his ability to control range. Yeah, his ability to control range.
Mm.
I think he has a good jab. He's got good footwork. His patience. He's very patient. Very smart punch selection. I think he has a lot of tools. I think that's the reason I'm picking him to win. I don't think it's just one weapon. I think he has a lot of weapons, and the kind of weapons that frustrate guys who like to land big shots. You know what I mean? He's like, it's almost like his whole life he's been trying to figure out how not to get hit by big punches. And this is just going to be another one of those situations where he knows how to not get hit by a big shot. So he's going to do every little thing he has to do to not get hit with those big shots. And that's what I really believe that's what Teofimo is going to have to do to win the fight. I can't see Teofimo winning this fight without landing some big shots. I think Teo has to land something of significance to get Shakur to not punch. Like the way I always tell people, there's 4 or 5 lines of defense, right? You got blocking, you got footwork, you got head movement, right? Blocking, footwork, head movement, those are the first 3. And then you could tie a guy up if you want to call that one. And then the last one, last but not least, is your offense. So I think that Teofimo's offense is going to have to be his defense. That's why I keep saying he has to pull the punch volume up, because if he can punch and land something of significance on Shakur to get Shakur to not want to punch and only want to go on the defense, then he could win the fight, because now you don't win a fight if you're not punching. But if Shakur is still able to get his shots off and then retreat, it's going to be a long night for Teo.
You think that Shakur is truly just gonna keep Teo on bay? Like he's not gonna close the range on Shakur Stevenson.
He will close the range, but I think Shakur. Yeah, I think he will close the range, but I think that Shakur will smother him. He will tie him up. He will do all the annoying things that the fight fans that don't appreciate boxing skills to the fullest will be fucking pissed off about. Like, he keeps holding him. He keeps doing, like, he's gonna do all those type of things every time Teo gets close.
That's what he did to Norman. So he did Norman, tied him up the last half of the fight every time he tried to go ahead and punch.
Yeah, I mean, I think smothering and tying up a guy, that's part of the skill set. And I think that Shakur's gonna have to do that with Teo, because if he decides to get brave with Teo and go punch for punch with Teo, that's going to be a mistake for Shakur. I don't think that's a good move for Shakur. I think that Shakur is better off scoring, defense, tie him up, reset, scoring, and that should be the game plan. It shouldn't be what he did with Cepeda. He tries to do what he did with Cepeda, and it could be an early night for Shakur.
But how about if Teo? I mean, because it's more like sounding like that Teo is going to have to go after Shakur constantly to win the fight. What about if Teo is disciplined as well and stay in the middle of the ring and let Shakur come to him?
I mean, I would be very surprised if he's able to pull that off. Put it that way. I'll be very surprised. I think that the height, the reach, the distance control, the jab of Shakur, his pesky style is gonna be. He's gonna get there before Tio, and if he gets there before Tio, then Tio's gonna have to get it back. And if he's constantly having to get it back, he's gonna have to get it back with either a volume of punches or a really good time shot to get Shakur to not punch so he can get his other shots off. If he can land a good shot on Shakur and Shakur ends up on the ropes like this and Tio's just bang, bang, throwing good selected shots, he's winning that situation even if those punches aren't landing. So that's why I want his punch out. If I was coaching him, I would be focusing on punch volume because I would say, listen, if we can get him to the ropes and he's not letting his hands go, and we all know that Tio's not a stupid fighter. He's not just going to be throwing stupid punches while Shakur's in the ropes. But if we can get him to get him on the ropes, pick good punches, well-placed punches with some power, but he's the busier guy. Even if Shakur is in the shoulder roll blocking most of them, if he's not punching, he's not winning. And that's got to be what he has to do. He needs to get Shakur to not punch. Because if Shakur is able to get his shit off and move, he's losing. So he has to get Shakur to not want to pull the trigger, make him scared to throw that punch. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with the punching output. I believe the Teofimo Lopez, and I think he's gotten better with the punching output. You know what I'm saying? You could see it in the numbers he got in that sense. But of course, Shakur Stevens is more of a defensive fighter and stuff like that. But I do see, I do feel like Teofimo Lopez is an underrated jabber. When he uses his jab, like he did his last fight, tripling the jab, quadrupling the jab, starting from the body up top. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about his jab work though?
I think Tio got good jab. I think Tio does everything good, bro. I think he does everything good. It's just in this fight, he's gonna have to do a lot more of it. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to do a lot more of it because I don't think that he does better necessarily, except for I think his hooks are better than Shakur. I think that his body shots might be better than Shakur as far as how they look and stuff. But when I say more so, I don't think that he does the other things necessarily better than Shakur. So he's gonna have to do double of what he typically does to beat a guy like Shakur. When you got a guy like Shakur in front of you, you got to do more than he does. That's how you beat a guy like Shakur. A guy like Shakur can be beat if you do everything good, but more. You have to do more. You know what I mean? You can't just do enough like what he's done in previous fights. It's not going to work. He struggled with Jermaine Ortiz, whether you thought he won or lost. I thought he lost. You thought he won. But again, he struggled due to the fact that he couldn't catch up with him. And even though Jermaine fought a fight of what you could call running, at the end of the day, you got a 20-by-20 ring. You can use that motherfucker however you want. And we can't get emotionally attached to how a guy fights. It's all about whose hands get raised. And if we're talking about Shakur utilizing that footwork and that range and that jab and picking his shots intelligently and sticking and moving, throwing one or two jabs at a time or throwing one good overhand at a time, it's not going to cut it. You're going to have to do more.
And that's why I think that people, when they analyze in this fight, they got to get away from this Ortiz stuff because Ortiz lost. In the end of the day, like
Ortiz didn't have the same name the Shakur guy. You talked about you got to take it
politics.
I mean, yeah, we talk about politics, beating the champion or big in the big. Shakur got a strong name. He can sell big fights just as good as Teofimo. They're both equal in name power, but you got one undefeated guy against one guy who's already lost a couple of times. So
one time.
Okay, lost one time, my bad. But you got a guy who's
come on, coach. Coach.
You got a guy who's undefeated. And I think that Shakur brings, he reminds me, he doesn't fight like Floyd at all. But he reminds me so much of Floyd that he's going to be a guy that can be like the baby-faced villain that everybody wants to see lose. He kind of has that aura to him where it's he's not a big puncher. He ain't going to knock you out. But somehow, some way, he's beating these big punchers and he's beating these big fighters that he should be losing to on paper, but he wins and people hate him because of how he wins. And he's very marketable. I could see him being a big money draw eventually because of being the villain. If he's smart enough, he'll copy everything Floyd did and he could blow up.
But isn't that what Tio is? The guy that everybody think he's going to lose? He's the underdog. He's the what you're saying is you got the mass opinion. Let's not forget. You got the mass opinion. More people think that Teo's going to lose. Teo is the hated one, not Shakur.
But you
Teo
know what?
is the one that Teo's the reputation of the mental instability, the racial undertones. He's the hated one.
Bro, I don't think people hate Teo like they hate Shakur. Look what happened with Shakur when he pissed off Cameron and Mace. Like, the whole fucking city and industry turned on him immediately. Like, I'm never, even with Teo saying the racial slurs that I don't even know what that was about, because my genuine opinion is he's not a racist. I don't know him personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he is. I still feel like he didn't get hated on as much as Shakur did with that whole shit. I feel like people don't like Shakur because of how he is, and I feel like he's so hard to beat. It makes you even that much more not like him.
I think that Coach Anthony, shout out to Coach Anthony. I think that Coach Anthony, he does this thing, he uploads but doesn't engage with the community. But if you engage with the community in YouTube,
you think Teo hated than Shakur?
Oh hell yeah, bro.
Really?
Teo is hated.
I don't know. Maybe because I ain't got no hate toward him, I don't feel that. Like I can see myself.
And I'm not saying, I'm not saying that it's just a pure, or they just no. I understand. I could say that I understand how Teo have rubbed communities the wrong way in certain things, you know, just like we racial undertones, in which I could find it funny, but people find it racist. His comments with the Puerto Rican and stuff like that, where a lot of Puerto Rican fans turned against him.
Puerto Rican, I don't even care. Like that shit. Like it's just something about the way Teo says shit that is like.
It's not that serious.
Yeah.
I take it just like you, but I'm just saying that it's certain communities, like, okay, he was going for Canelo, and then when he's not training with Eddie Reynoso, then he says, but Crawford is gonna win. That the Canelo Alvarez fans turn on Teo. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to turn off a whole community.
What happened with Shakur though, bro? With this whole what happened with Cam and Mace again? I forget. But something happened where I think they called them out, and like, bro, it was like
boring. I think it was boring. And then they did a video of them sleeping on Shakur's
thing. And then it kept going. It became like a big Twitter beef, and then all the boxers from New York, guys like freaking my man, the light heavyweight who lost the better beef, what was his name, Marcus Brown, and all these old, like, it was like young New York versus these young Newark cat, like old New York versus New Jersey. Like, it was weird. Like, I was like, damn, everybody's showing how they really feel about Shakur right now. Like, it was like, bro, I personally don't know, bro.
I think that the American boxing fans, we're highly toxic. We don't. Devin Haney is hated. Teo is hated. Shakur is hated. Ryan is hated. Tank is hated. Everybody that's good is hated. You know what I'm saying? Like if I say who's the American poster boy outside of, you know, Terrence Bud Crawford, but of this generation, everybody is hated. You know what I'm saying? So I think they get their fair share of hate.
You know why I think it's because they're not fighting each other enough, and they're all good fighters, but they're not fighting each other enough, and it's just like one of those things where it's like they're getting highly rated, but they're not doing enough to be highly rated. So the fans start to get angry. Like right now, what you guys are saying about my opinion with Shakur and my opinion with Boots, I'm highly rating these guys without them actually doing anything to be highly rated, right? But I'm going off of an eye test where, you know, I think that's where the fans get like annoyed when they see a Devin Haney talking greasy, or they see a Ryan Garcia talking greasy, or now we got Shakur and Teo, and you know what I mean? Then we start.
But then it's good in the flip side of what you say. You've seen Boots in the gym. You've been with Boots in the gym, so you've seen the pedigree. You've seen the heart. You've seen the grit. You've seen the hard work, and you instead of, you know, people also could see like, okay, he knows some inside about that we may not know. Almost like when I seen Teo in training camp. I know how good he could be. I know, you know, his preparation. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, I've been in the gym with a lot. I've seen a lot of fighters at high level, champions, and I could be like, yo, damn, this motherfucker. I think I never seen this dude work so hard. Like he just eat, sleep, and shit gym. He's just in the gym all day. At one point, to be honest, hey, yo, Coach Anthony. At one point, I was like, yo, does Tio have a home? That's how much he's in the gym. Like, I'm like, yo, does he have a home? He's morning working out, lunch working out, night I'm sparring, middle of the night I'm running. Like, I'm like, and then but then you could see in the body, like, yo, he's always in shape, never out of shape. Like you could tell when it's almost like I'm not gonna say that Tio was Floyd Mayweather, but you could tell Floyd Mayweather was a gym rat. He's never out of shape, always in shape. You know what I'm saying?
When we retired,
You could also see that in Shakur. Like there's always been a story that, you know, overtraining. You know, he's always sparring everybody. You know, if you look at Shakur, probably sparred everybody that we named. He sparred Tank, he sparred Haney, he sparred Tio, he sparred he sparred Bud, he sparred everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say when the smoke clears, it was gonna be Tio and Shakur. Because I don't think that nobody wants to be more great than Tio and Shakur. Out of this generation, I truly, and I'm not throwing no shades, I think that Devin Haney also want to be great. I think that but in terms of that chip on their shoulder, proving people wrong and being named, Tio is just a maniac and want to be great, and I think that Shakur wants to be great at it and wants to be just as great. I don't know if he want to be greater than Tio in terms of he will fight his friends and Shakur wouldn't. Shakur is limited. Shakur won't fight Keyshawn Davis. If it's them two, the last man standing, he won't fight Shakur. He won't fight Keyshawn Davis. So the greatness is limited. Tio won't give a damn. He will fight anybody, any place, anytime. I don't give a damn if you my brother, cousin, sister, whatever. That's the difference between Tio and Shakur. I think Tio will want to be greater than I think his ceiling is higher than Shakur.
No, we shall wait and see, man.
Let's go, Coach Anthony.
I'm gonna let you end it on that note, because I mean,
hey yo, it's early. It's gonna be a lot of breakdowns. Hey yo, Coach Anthony did pick Bud way before anybody I ever heard even analyze the fight. You know what I'm saying? So
it's gonna be very difficult for me to change my bet on this one, my prediction on this one. But listen, we'll see. Maybe you never know. As you get closer to the fight, sometimes
just like your prediction almost changed though with Canelo.
I almost changed with Canelo and Crawford as we started getting closer. I started like leaning toward Canelo, but I kept to my word. You know what I mean?
Boricua with the $2 super chat says, "Hey, he dug Matias for the biggest payday. He's getting his payday with Shakur Stevenson, my brother. He's getting 8 figures. He's getting 8 figures with Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson's getting 8 figures as well. So I don't know about that. Look, huh?
They getting 8 figures for this?
Yeah.
There's a Turkey Al-Ashish joint or something?
Mm-hmm.
For real?
Yeah, it's a ring in New York City. I think it's ring 7 or ring. Yeah, it's a ring event.
Yeesh, damn, bro. There's a good one.
Yeah, man. Remember, Tio was ready to fight Boots Ennis. Yeah, it was Boots that pulled out.
Let Tio just be talking, bro, because he was there.
Nah, he signed up for that fight. Turkey Al-Sheikh. Turkey Al-Sheikh is the one that said that Boots Ennis pulled out.
Yeah, he's better off fighting Shakur than Boots Ennis, man. For real.
Hey yo, after Tio beat Shakur, we're gonna be talking about Boots and Tio again.
I don't know. If he beat Shakur, this might be a 3-peat. They might do it a few times.
It should, right? That's what best fighting the best should be, right? In the history of the sport of boxing. That's what best fighting the best. Like, that's why I have it 115, 113, 116. It should be like that. Triple G, Canelo Alvarez, we had it rematch. We had the Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard rematch. We did have even Mike Tyson. Even when Mike Tyson got stopped by Holyfield, we had that rematch. You know what I'm saying? The rematch that we never had that I wish we had was Tito Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya. That was we should have had that rematch.
I say during the 80s and 90s, all the best fought the best, especially the 4 Kings. I don't know if you count Wilfred Benitez as the 5th one.
Oh yeah. He's the Fab 5 right there.
All styles match up differently. Like,
but to be honest, I think that we heading that way. Don't we heading? Ryan did fight Tank. Ryan did fight Haney. I think though, and you know, we could have had the Devin and Tio. We're going to have Tio and Shakur. It's going to get there. And a matter of fact, it's actually better now because they're entering their prime. They got something to lose. The all world champions. They all accomplished.
This fight, I'm gonna be honest. This is not a fight I expected to happen. It just when I heard the announcement, I was like, really? I bet I'll take it. You know what I mean? So
you said that.
I feel like Tio's been like under the radar a little bit. So you never know, man. Tio might surprise me, bro. And if you do, salute to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think he's gonna surprise you. No, you know what? I don't think he's gonna surprise you. He ain't gonna surprise you. Once Tio wins in the manner of his skill set, you're gonna be like, of course.
Right, I'm be like, why didn't I see that originally?
You think? Oh, all right. If Tio wins, you're gonna be surprised. Like you're gonna be like, whoa, shit.
I'm not gonna be surprised, but I will say I'm picking against him. I don't think he's gonna beat him, so I'm gonna be a little surprised. Yeah, I guess I will be surprised. I will be a little surprised, you know what I mean? But not like as a biggest upset I've seen since Tyson Douglas, you know what I mean? It won't be one of those, but
you better stop that upset talking. He got all the intangibles to be Shakur. And Shakur has the intangible to win as well. He has both of them has the intangible. Both of them have elite pedigree, bro. Now, regardless of if the resume, but just like when we talk about boots, just the skill set, the bag, both they all have great pedigree. So it shouldn't be a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise who wins the fight. I got Tia all the way, but because of the pedigree of Shakur Stevens is the reason why I said, you know, I don't want to sound like a broken record. That's why I said is when the smoke clear is going to be Tio versus Shakur. Because I believe in Shakur's pedigree. I just don't believe that his pedigree is good enough to be the takeover, the captain of the generation, the commander-in-chief, the two-time lineal champion of the world, baby. Let's go.
It's 1 hour.
All right, say less, bro.
All right, my brother, man. Shout out to Coach Anthony. Everybody subscribe to his social media platform.
They're not going to subscribe to me. They like, hell no, man. We're going for Shakur, man. We ain't going with that guy.
Nah, I'm just a YouTube boxing content creator. You know what I'm saying? You the coach. You the boxing content creator. You the coach of world champions, a prestige trainer around the world.
Right. Now, I appreciate the love and support. Shout out to everybody over here on Punch Drunks Network. And that's it, man. Hopefully we get a great fight. This was good about boxing, bro. Finally, you know, two guys fighting at the peak of their career, and that's what we need more of, man. So hopefully it's not a one-sided fight. Hopefully it's just as exciting as we hope it is, you know what I mean? And let the best man win.
And the $1 million, that's $1 million pad work.
$1 million mitts. So listen, for those
$1 million mitts.
Yeah, for those of y'all out there who are like, what the hell is this $1 million mitts? Basically, what I'm doing is I'm teaching mitt work, you know, everything I know about mitt work. And mitt work's put me in some really good positions. When I first got in the game, I got to work world title corners simply because they like the way I hold mitts. Working with those fighters brought attention to me, which eventually got a chance for people to see how I actually teach on my YouTube channel. And then again, put me in some real head trainer positions as a head trainer. Obviously, Raymond Ford being the guy who got Fight of the Year and, you know, won a world title under my guidance. So I got to give credit to the mitt work because the mitt work's what put me there. And I think that all fighters like a good mitt guy. All clients like a good mitt guy. If clients out there want to get a good workout, if you go to a boxing gym, you see everybody, I want to hit the mitt. So I teach mitt work. You guys go to, you know, just check me out, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Check out $1 Million Mitts. You won't be disappointed. Thank you for letting me shout out my newest release on your network. But yeah, it's definitely something that I think people should look into.
Yo, but you know what, man? I think that these before you go, man, I think these YouTubers and the misfits and they get in these exhibitions. Yo, I think I want to get in the mix, man. I think you are you willing to train me? I think I want to get in the mix of this, man.
Let's go, bro. I be seeing you hit the bag all the time, and I see a lot of these guys talking crazy. So hey, man, there's only one way to settle the smoke. You know what I'm saying?
We teaming up, Coach and Punch Drunk.
I'm with you, bro.
Misfits.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Man, call them out, bro. Right.
Let's go, man. Appreciate you, my brother, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you too, bro.
Appreciate you too, bro.
Yes, sir. Later,
All
man.
right, man. Peace out. Shout out to Coach Anthony, man. One of the prestige trainer in the world of boxing. Go subscribe to his channel, follow him on social media, man. You're gonna learn a lot of things in the sport of boxing. I've been wanting a lot of these world, especially these young up-and-coming world champions or even championing themselves. I think they could gain chemistry with a Coach Anthony. I think I could see a Teo Senior with a Coach Anthony and Teo. I could see I truly think that these fighters need to get away from the old trainer. Hiring Hunter, good. Hiring Freddie Roach, all right, good. There's other great coaches that come from a good lineage of great teachers, right? It's almost like Andy Lee is a great coach that he comes from the Krung Gym, right? Sugar Hill come from the Krung Gym. You know what I'm saying? Coach Anthony King has worked with the Mayweathers and stuff like that, with the Richardsons of God rest his soul. Like Nassim Rich, he's worked with everybody, bro. So I'm saying it like this, man. Coach Anthony's one of the great young trainers in the sport of boxing. But peace out, everybody, man. Hope you had a good live, man. Tomorrow we back at it. We're gonna call the fight PBC Pitbull Cruz versus Lamar Roach. I got Pitbull Cruz winning a split decision victory over Lamar Roach. I'm rooting for Lamar, but I got Pitbull Cruz winning a split decision victory over Lamar Roach. I just think that Pitbull Cruz, I think, got a chip on his shoulder. I think he's gonna be smothering Lamar Roach work. I think his pressure is gonna be is gonna be highly effective. I think that Lamar Roach, he did so well versus Gervonta Tank Davis because he knew who Gervonta Tank Davis was. But we saw that Lamar Roach wasn't all that polished versus Hector Luis Garcia. He didn't look all that polished versus Jamel Herring. I just feel like Pitbull Cruz is good enough and effective enough to really get on the inside and really smother the work of Lamar Roach if he wants to be tactical and things of that nature. Now we've seen Pitbull Cruz do lose to Venezuela. So I said Venezuela. What's his fucking name, bro? What's his name? Rayo. I'm sorry. Yeah, Rayo. So I could see Roach doing a little bit what Rayo did, but I got Pitbull Cruz a split decision victory. Split decision victory. It could go either way. I got a split decision victory. My brother Rapstar Boxing Knowledge got Roach by decision for me. I think it could go either way. If I have to predict it, split decision victory versus Pitbull Cruz. I think it's gonna be a 115, 113 card. I think a Lamar Roach is probably gonna get dropped, probably rallied up. It might not be the same. Venezuela, right? So, and I also think that I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think the political side, it goes with Pitbull Cruz. Let's not forget that Lamar Roach is a pro box fighter. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to P, and we all know how the political aspect, went against him. PBC, New York State Athletic Commission. He's going up against PBC again with Pitbull Cruz. That's why I got the split decision victory. It's a 50-50 fight, but the politics, I think, is going to over. You got the Mexican fan. I got to analyze shit like that as well. Not only the technical side of things, but come on, man. We always got to look at the politics. We know that boxing is a wild, wild west. And I cannot neglect that, Pitbull Cruz got home turf. Let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button, man. I'm losing my voice, my throat hurting. I could have gone more. I could keep on going live, but I'm getting a little sick. So shout out to the people that donated to the channel. Shout out to the members as well, man. If you haven't become a member to the channel, become a member. Follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter. Follow me on IG. Follow me on TikTok. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.